You're listening to Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Now, you probably know me from such works as The Office and Extras, Stephen being my co-writer and co-director on those things. For those people who are not so aware of Karl Pilkington, he was our producer, sort of given to us when we first started on XFM. And you're thinking, well, why are we doing a podcast? Why are we doing a podcast for no money?
Is it no money?
No, it's free, innit? It's free download. But this is what I'm here to answer. It's because I like to be in a room with Karl Pilkington. You know, like some people go and help sort of chimps.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they go to the jungles and things.
And how about little sort of endangered
Diane
species?
Fossey or whatever.
Exactly.
You're very much the Diane Fossey of the Manchester scene.
Of the little bald mank world. And Karl Pilkington is an ongoing experiment for me, because I've seen him blossom from an idiot into an imbecile. And I want to see it through. Look at the way he's looking at us through the glass. Look at that. He's got a perfectly round head. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, or bodcast, as I'm going to call it in his honour. Little round-headed bod-type freak.
If you're not familiar with Bod, we can maybe put up a picture of Bod, the popular cartoon kids character.
Go to rickygervais.com and you will see a picture of Karl and a picture of Bod.
And you draw your own conclusions as to the likeness.
Karl, what do you think about all this?
That's all right.
You excited by this new technology?
What? Podcasts?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, I mean, we are living in that sort of era now, aren't we? Like, you need to be able to listen to stuff on demand when you want it and stuff.
I know you're not a fan of the iPod in general, are you? Or any of the MP3 things. You're concerned.
I'm warming to it, but
this is what's amazing about Karl. Even though he's talking about things like MP3 players, computers, iPods, he sounds like he was found in a glacier and thawed out. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of taught to speak.
We're a couple of high school guys who found him, and we're trying to ingratiate him in the gang, trying to pass him off as someone from the modern day.
No. But my thing with iPods is, now, do we need them? Do you know what I mean? We're living in that era now where we have invented most of the stuff that we need, and now we're just messing about.
They said that in 1900. Someone actually said everything that's to be invented has already been invented. They said that in 1900, and how wrong were they?
No, but what came out, at what point, what was invented in that year where they went, right, that's it now? What did they invent in 1900 that made them go, we've done it all now?
Well, just think a little bit, right? The 20th century. Think what happened in the 20th century.
Go on.
Well, cars, planes.
Yeah, but is that a good thing? Planes and that. Do you need a plane, really? Wouldn't it have been better if we all stuck where we should be instead of travelling about? War. Well, look, war's happening, isn't it? Because everyone's saying, well, now we can fly, we'll go over there.
So there were no wars prior to the invention of the aeroplane?
Not like there is today.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, the more the world's got smaller on it, everyone's saying that, right? Yeah. The way I was saying to you the other day, we now go to places where we shouldn't go. People go on holiday to places where you've got to have an injection before you go there.
Yeah.
Forget it then. That's a warning. Don't go there.
I'm with you on that. I don't want to enter a country where I have to have an injection to stop me from dying while I'm in that country. Right, I totally agree with you on that.
So what happened is, they invented the plane, and it's like, oh, let's go on holiday, and then they go, oh, die now. Oh, well, you've got to invent something. Let's invent an injection, and then it's like, right, well, what else do we need to go to that place? There's a lot of faffing. So what I'm saying is...
Is that a place? A lot of faffing?
What I'm saying is, Steve's travelled more than I have. You've been to, like, dangerous places.
I've been to places where you need injections, yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's fascinating, isn't it? Do you not believe in that idea of travel broadens the mind? It makes you experience other ways of life, other ways of thinking. It just enriches you as a human being. That's the whole reason people go travelling.
Well, since the invention of the telly, you don't have to go that far to see it.
You're absolutely right.
So there you go then. The telly was the 20th century, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So where would you stop then? You'd stop making stuff now? Stop inventing stuff right now? Or do you think we could carry on for another 5 years, see what comes up, and then just draw a line under it all?
Well, again, we're just messing about. And
there's still things to do, isn't there? I mean, I know I could throw things up. You could always get an answer about it, but a cure for cancer, a cure for AIDS.
Yeah, but should we mess with that?
What do you mean?
Because there's too many people in the world as it is, isn't there? So that's a way of controlling it. So that, like, look at London, right? It's overpopulated. rent keeps going up because there's more and more people surviving, right? If you let them die, it's going to even itself out. See, I was saying to someone the other day about maybe we should look at, if we're going to invent something, right, forget like the traditional way of people having kids, right, the way they, have it away and that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, like the way that, we have kids and stuff. If it'd be good if what happened was to control it is if man and woman, right, they're born and that, they enjoy their life, they learn a lot, they live to be about 78, I think, by that point.
So specific.
Yeah, 78,
No, but by 78, I reckon you've sort of got to that point where you go, do you know what, I've done everything I'm going to do. If you haven't bungee jumped by the time you're 78, you're not going to do it. No. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Your hips have come off.
You've done it all now, so I've had my innings.
Yeah.
And then you die, right? So say if everyone had that, they lived to be 78. But then, just as you die...
They give you the bumps.
You have a little baby inside you, and as you die, your life carries on.
Sorry,
how is this happening?
Sorry, are you mental?
No, but don't you think...
I mean, what? I've never heard such drivel.
You're saying that, but if Newton said it, you'd go, interesting. That's what annoys me.
The point is, Carl, he never would. He'd never say it, that's the point.
If you never say it,
I don't understand what you're talking about there. How was it? How was there a little baby in a 78-year-old?
No, what I'm saying is it's like an apple, where the apple grows and it's got its little baby pips in it, and the apple goes and the seeds are planted and a new one's born.
But that's what happens.
But that is what reproduction is.
Yeah, but I'm saying babies aren't being born left, right and centre. It's controlled so that as someone dies, someone's born.
But Carl, stop. Whose responsibility is this?
If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But
is it supposed to be nature? Has nature got to develop humans so that we act that way? We live that way? Or is this a scientific experiment?
Like he said to you then, he said, look, if you don't want to do it, we don't need to do it. Like, if you were up for it, we'll sort it out. We can do that.
We'll have a whip round, so we can do the research.
I just think, at the end of the day, we've got to do something. And is anyone keeping an eye on this and looking at what we can do next to control the population thing? It does my head in that I've got to live in London for work and what have you. And there's loads of people here. And, forget going out on a Saturday night, it's too busy. And you can't move and they keep... I mean, what annoys me about London
So your solution is that 78-year-old women have little babies inside them. And as they slip away into death, the little babies... And how is that baby then raised? Who looks after the baby?
Because it's a pretty good system, having a baby while you're young enough to look after that baby and make sure it lives to, reproductive age itself.
I mean, that system's been working for years.
Nature's sort of sorted it out. Natural selection and evolution sort of makes that a good model.
But wait a minute, nature. Pop that on hold, because Karl Pilkington's got an idea.
Yeah.
It was that's what it was, just an idea.
Yeah, well, it was nonsense. But thank you for it.
The worst I mean, it was the ramblings of someone you'd find by themselves in a hospital eating flies.
Yeah. This is the sort of thing you find when, if they find maybe a pamphlet or a booklet written by a psychopath. Someone, just before they went on a rampage and then turned the gun on themselves, they go through their possessions and they find a book and it's got weird drawings, women with knives in their face, and this kind of garbage.
In fact, I saw a similar sort of theory written out on a wall, but it was written in shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, all I'm saying is, I think it's, when people die normally, everyone's fed up about it, aren't they, and a bit down. But if when you pass away, you go, oh, we're going to miss Gladys or whatever, but then there's this new life brought in, it's almost like a bad news.
But you're talking about it like someone could pick this idea up and run with it. Like you've given them enough information to do it. How is this possible? Where does she get the baby from? Why does it grow? Why grow it in Gladys's belly? Why not have it in a drawer? Ready to go? Just add water. I mean,
who looks after son of Gladys?
There is no theory here. It's the ramblings of a madman.
What I'm saying is, though, the body's always changing, innit? From caveman to now, or whatever.
In some cases.
And they're always finding out more and more. Like I read the other day about how they're saying, do you know, like they say, people have six senses.
Yeah.
There's loads more than that. Right, and there's this one...
I say, show me that you've got one.
No, right, and there's this one that's knocking about.
Go on.
That, what it is, say if I'm in a pub, right, and I'm just doing a crossword or whatever,
Unlikely, but go on.
And there's some woman who's walked in, right? And she's staring at me.
Yeah.
I know she's looking at me, and I look up and I look round, she's looking at me.
Right.
And they're saying that's a new sense that they found out from, like, you know, doing tests and what have you.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
And they're saying that's been around since like man and dinosaur was knocking about.
But it could be, you know, peripheral vision. It could be a footstep stopped, and usually when someone's footsteps stop, they've stopped.
No, they've
I
explained it.
think it's safe to assume that, you know, that with your perfectly round head, people are always stopping and looking.
No, but they explained
I mean,
it.
you just know that there's probably going to be someone there if you get right.
They said it's from the time when, like, caveman was, like, wandering about, and he'd go, hang on a minute, and he'd look round, there's a dinosaur there or whatever, and he'd leg
Right,
it.
this is nonsense. I hate when people use the term when caveman was wandering around. Caveman and dinosaurs, oh, they used to live together, yeah. Oh, that's the same era. Yeah. What have you been watching? Raquel Welch?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean caveman wandering, knocking around with a dinosaur?
You know the Flintstones is only partly based on fact. Dinosaurs and man did not coexist. The dinosaurs had long gone before man arrived. Extinct. Kaput. You don't believe us?
What, you don't believe because you've seen...
Because you saw that film where they took pictures of lizards and magnified them and put them next to men in films so they looked like they were fighting.
Yeah.
No, but why couldn't that have happened?
What is the film with Raquel Welch? A Million Years BC.
A Million Years BC or
A
something.
Million Years BC. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but...
She had a sort of woolly mammoth bikini. Fact.
But why wasn't the dinosaurs back then just like how we have dogs now, in a way?
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's thinking of the Flintstones.
Yeah.
That's what he's
when
thinking.
He puts out the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah,
and then
and he mixes his concrete in a pelican.
Yeah.
I just think that there must have been a crossover point.
Why? Why did you say that? Why do you think there must have been?
There must have been.
Because if nothing was knocking about at any point, how did anything carry on?
I know. Exactly. Why didn't Hitler meet Nero? It's weird, isn't it? There must have been a crossover. They must have met somewhere. They must have met at a party somewhere.
They mixed in similar circles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you telling me that Ken Dodd has never met Genghis Khan? They must have bumped into... I can't believe it.
Forget it.
Oh.
You're listening to Ricky Gervais with Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Coming up after the ads, Monkey News.
What ads?
No ads now?
No, we're not. There's nothing here. There's no records. We just got to keep on talking.
Okay.
Which is not.
We could do our own ads.
Okay.
Bring tea for the Tillerman, steak for the sun. Out now to own on DVD. Ricky Gervais's and Steve Merchant's award-winning extras. With Ross Kemp. Oh, zippy. With Les Dennis. Put your arse away, Les. I don't really know. And Kate Winslet. Oh, this nut outfit makes me talk dirty. Out now on DVD. Extras.
Did you like Flanimals? The Ricky Gervais book for kids with pictures of made-up creatures in different colours? Well, if you did, there's more of them now in the new book. More Flanimals. Which is also by Ricky Gervais, drawings by his mate. Out now.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
You're listening to Ricky Gervais with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Mm-hmm. Well, now time for one of our regular features. Monkey News.
Do the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Right, what we're doing here is just giving you a bit of monkey news that's gone on, right? Where a monkey's been involved in it. Good little story in that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the one that went into space? The first sort of thing they ever sent up there before man did it and all that. You see, this is what annoyed me with it really. Armstrong gets all the glory, but do you know who went up there before him?
A monkey.
Yeah.
Dog went up first.
But what was the monkey called?
I don't know.
No, sure, okay. So it's not the most informed news bulletin.
The dog was called Laika.
Was it?
Yeah, they couldn't get it back there. They sent it out there, did a few tests and stuff, and they couldn't get it back. They weren't prepared to bring the capsule back yet. Brilliant. We could all do that.
So is that a good mission?
Well, I just think it was seeing if the mission itself killed it, but they didn't have the technology, because of course it couldn't fly the capsule back, which it has to be manned to bring it.
Well, this was the next one up then, right? So the dog must have gone first, and then they went, right, we made an error there, right? Get the monkey in, and what happened is they taught it what buttons to hit at the time that it needed to hit them, and And the way they did this was like give it bananas. It was like hit the red button, and it hit the red button, they give it a banana.
Right.
And they go, right, reverse is the green one, hit the green one. And then they do that and go, there's a banana. And then they go, right, hit reverse, and it go and get a banana. Hit the red, so it was taking commands on like headphones.
Right, but how were they giving
Is that
it the
how you
banana?
learn to do radio?
How were they giving it the banana?
What do you mean? No, this is before it went. You wouldn't just go and put a monkey in it and go, there you go, get on with it. They'd sort of put him in one of them capsules that you get.
Yeah.
And they were on
I
headphones.
don't believe this happened.
Well, I'm telling you the story now. So the monkey
I don't
sat...
think they trained it to do anything. I think they sent it up there and they put electrodes coming out of it to see what
it wasn't
is.
any of that. They did a thing like they do, like they can with animals. If you give something, like a treat, you can teach it how to do it. It's just like a dog, isn't it?
It's called Pavlovian conditioning. However, that was to see if it would salivate or go over to a particular corner, not if it could control a spacecraft.
Next one up. It's the next one up. As far as the monkey's not sat there going, oh, I'm a bit under pressure here, it's a rocket. All that's knowing is, I'm getting a banana if I hit that button. That's all the monkey's thinking about.
They wouldn't put billions of space
But
dollars.
how can they be sure that it's going to press the button at the right moment?
Because it's got headphones on. They're telling it. It's not
Like you have now.
It's not like willy-nilly. It's not just like pop it in there.
Willy-nilly,
and
who's
see-
that?
What's to stop it from just hitting it any old time? Because it's a monkey and it's not a human.
Because he's trained now. But
Oh, he's trained, he's fully trained, yeah,
So
go
what
on.
happened is, anyway,
Oh, this is absolute rubbish.
they pop the monkey in there.
Yeah.
It's got its headphones on. They're going, right, hit the green one. And I think there's something there that a little banana comes out to keep the same.
No, you're making this up.
I'm not, it's the same.
There's no way that they made a
so
spacecraft
they can-
that had a banana dispenser.
Right,
There's
so-
no way in this world that they made a spacecraft that could go into outer space, right?
So what- so
manned
you're- so
by a
you're-
monkey with a banana dispenser.
So you're saying that it's easy to send something up to space, but you don't believe there's a little banana machine?
Right, okay, so in your world, there's a monkey and it's been conditioned and there's a little monkey dispenser, monkey dispenser or a banana dispenser?
dispenser, right? So it comes to the launch day, monkeys sat in there, everyone's ready, bananas are stocked up and all the rest of it. They go, right, hit the green button. Right, and the rocket goes off and what have you.
No, they would not make the monkey launch the rocket. Carl, you are living in a cartoon world.
So the rocket goes off, right?
This is absolute bollocks.
It's all going well.
I don't know where you're going to... It's not going well.
going
There's
well.
no way a monkey launched
It's
a
going-
rocket. There is no way a monkey launched a rocket,
So
you
it's all
idiot.
going on, so they go and hit the left button and it goes
The
left.
left button. Oh, well-known spacecraft command. This is Houston. Hit the left button. Oh, brilliant. This is what happened in Apollo 13. Hit the left button.
So it goes left. Yeah, it goes left.
So it goes left and it's going away.
Left. It goes left.
Yeah.
No, the moon. You're going right.
It goes for the moon, everything's going well.
Right.
They get up there, it does whatever it does. It reverse, it comes back. Right? So then...
Honestly, you are brain dead.
So it's
you are
like-
one of the most stupid people. That I would rather have the monkey drive me
listen.
home than you.
So the thing is, so it lands back,
Yeah.
it does a good job and everything, it gets out, and
It's sick of bananas.
This is where it turns a bit sad, because after it done that mission, right, because it happened and it was all safe and everything, the next one would have been to send man.
Right.
So the monkey enjoyed it and it was like, well, I want to do it again, right? But they were like,
So how did they know that? How did they know?
just the way it looked and what have you, it was like,
Fuck off! Just the way it looked! You are a maniac.
so the thing is though, right, so after it had done that, it was on such a high, right,
Yeah.
it could never get that high again.
Turn to drugs.
There was nothing that it could do.
Went on tour, did it?
It sort of ended up killing itself. Because it could never get that buzz that it
Right,
got.
that was absolute bollocks. None of that is true, except they sent a monkey into space. And I'll check that. Absolute drivel.
So in your mind, it committed suicide. It went on a crazy bender, drinking drugs and women. And
Like
then
it does happen, you
and then
hear
it was
about it.
found in
you
a
hear about
motel room.
it. Right, do you know, like, you don't believe in, like, scary stuff? Just like, ghosts.
No, I believe in scary stuff. I don't believe in things that
ghosts
are totally
and that.
logical. Yeah, ghosts.
Vampires?
No. Anything made up by man.
Well, there was something in the paper the other day about a vampire. They found one. They dug something up.
It was in the paper? Oh, it's true then?
It's definitely true.
But we'll leave that because you're just going to do that, so it doesn't matter.
No, come on.
Go on, quickly, tell us about you found.
No, it's just that they found a body in a coffin with a bit of wood through its heart and a knife in its mouth. But if you don't believe it,
It was a
then what's the
vampire
point?
pirate. It was a vampire pirate.
But that's definitely proof of a vampire then, and of course, and not some grotesque murder. Yeah. That's definitely proof of a
If
vampire.
it was found, if it wasn't made up.
Hang on a minute.
As far as I'm aware, when you put the things through their heart, they just turn into dust.
And also, all their victims get their own life back.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and here was the second bit.
Yeah.
Somebody dug it up, got the heart, blended it, burnt it, popped it in some water, drank it, and they're in prison now. Now, if it wasn't dodgy stuff, why are they in prison?
Because they're mental, because they dug up a body, liquidised its heart, burnt it and drank it. That's why they're in prison.
There's your answer.
Right. But anyway, that isn't what I'm talking about, right? But I met Derek Acora the other week.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Now, who's he? Which one's he?
Is
he a medium? He can contact the dead, is that right?
He just chats to them and that, passes messages on.
Nice of him.
So I said, oh, tell us something a bit weird and that. So he said, what do you want to know? I said, just something weird. So he goes, all right then. He said, here's one for you, right? And he said, there's this pub out in the country. And he said, there's this mug. Do you know those old mugs that they have? Where they used to like leave their own cup knocking
Like a
about.
tankard.
Oh, yeah.
Tankard thing.
Yeah.
So there was one of them mugs in there, right? And everybody...
Tankard, let's use tankard if we've established that.
Tankard, yeah.
Because you're the only mug in this story.
Right.
Believe in it all.
High five. Great.
So this tankard's knocking about, right? And everyone who's running the pub keeps going, oh, we should stop leaving this tankard about, right? And they pick it up.
It must be a pain. Having a tiny, small tankard in a pub, that must be a real grind.
So every time they sort of picked it up and went, we'll have to wash that, and they popped it on a different sideboard. Next thing you know, that person who's touched it died, right?
Sure.
So
They must have been getting through bar staff.
they kept getting new staff and that. And they were like, oh, what's the connection here? Right?
What's the connection here?
Oh,
So anyway,
call Australia, we've run out.
So they sort of, someone notices and they go, you know, it's a bit weird, it's that cup, right? So they get...
Tankard.
So it's that tankard and that. So they get a vicar in.
Of course they do.
And they go, look, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. This tankard, every time someone touches it, they die. So he said, leave it with me. He gets his special water out and what have you. He comes round, does a little prayer, sprinkles it. He goes, right, not a problem, don't worry about it. He picks it up, chucks it in the bin. Guess what?
What?
Dies in a crash on the way home. Because he picked it up.
Well, but Carl, you're telling me this like it's fact, and I'm meant to go, that's amazing.
Cora, he told me.
Carl, I have no opinion of that story, other than I'm pretty sure there was absolutely no connection between touching the tankard and him dying. That's all I'm sure of.
It's not just him, though, is it?
I'm not going to even contest the chain of events. All I'm saying is there is no connection. There is no connection possible because I believe in logic and the laws of the universe. So when you're telling me miracles and strange things outside coincidence, you may as well be telling me about the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny because they're equal to me. That it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
So what would it take, though, for you to go, oh, I'm actually a believer now?
But what you're saying is I can't answer that question because I'd have to base my beliefs on some of your premises, which I can't do. It's like you saying, but what if you found out that 2 and 2 equaled 5? I can't. It's a necessary truth that it doesn't. I'd have to go back and fundamentally disagree with what I think twoism is, two-ness and fiveness.
And you've never been in a situation, though, where you've gone, this room feels a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Could be something knocking about, or...
But that's a different question. I could go into a really rough-looking pub and... The slideshow, that's the birth, or that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss.
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag. Oh, God. There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus.
But hummus, when did that happen?
What do you mean it's still going? It's a Greek traditional food.
I know, but there's a restaurant down the road that's all they do. That isn't a proper meal, that's a side order, isn't it? That's like having a restaurant just flogging tomato ketchup. Hummus isn't a meal. They don't even try and kid you and get you in and flog you just hummus. They could actually say hummus today. Not going to work, they shut down within a month.
Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a phone call.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay? Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
I didn't tell you that.
No, I looked it up after talking to you.
Oh, right. Is that true?
Yeah, they just said there's loads of them.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
It's a bit daft, isn't it?
What do you think they should do then?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders wouldn't be good.
Who says that?
I don't know, someone. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it'd have an effect.
Not everything, no. Like I've said, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
The world wouldn't change.
Well, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, it would, because it's part of an ecosystem, so they're something's food, aren't they?
No, but it's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. That's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
The rain ain't stopped. The old woman with the bent neck. Now, we've not heard about the old woman with the bent neck before. She's a
bent neck. What's this? Incredible.
She's really old.
And she's got a bent neck, yeah, but tell us something else.
I don't know what's up with her, but her head sort of comes out of here.
No, it's radio. They can't see what you're doing.
It sort of comes out of her chest. So from behind, it looks like she hasn't got an head. It's really weird, right? I mean, she's old, and I don't know what's happened. Just Suzanne said it's sad, and her bones had sort of bent up or something, or maybe she carried something heavy when she was younger.
On her head.
And I don't know. It's sad and everything.
Yeah.
But she's wandering up and down the street. Always looks fed up. What you can see of her, you have to sort of bend down a little bit. But her head's just. I thought I told you about.
She finds a lot of change.
I said, yeah.
Well, as you write in the diary, the old woman with the bent neck is struggling in the weather. The rain must be running down her back. Don't know why she went out in this weather. Me back's doing the head in today. It does this every time the weather turns a bit grim. Ever since I tried to kick me height. Oh, remember that? We've heard this before. Kicked me height and landed on me arse. Was going to treat Suzanne to a trip to the pictures to see Breakback Mountain, but then remembered there is a programme on about two-headed kid tonight.
What two-headed kid?
It's just a two-headed kid knocking about. And I just wanted to watch that.
What do you mean, a two-headed kid?
It was something on the telly. I only saw the beginning. I thought, it seems a bit heavy, this.
The programme about the kid with two heads was a bit sad. They never go into the good sides of these stories. I asked Suzanne what happens if they sit an exam. She said she didn't know.
So, Rockbusters, you gave out 3 clues last week. Have we got a winner?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was the first person to email in, but you pointed something out, didn't you? That we're going to do it this week, the first person, but we think maybe it shouldn't be the first person because some people are up in the world when this comes up, and some people aren't up in the world. So we're just going to pick one at random next week. So you've got the whole week, but we're going to pick one at random. But this is the first one we got with all the right answers.
The first one with the right answers, yeah.
Yeah. So well, give us the clues and the answers.
Right. So last week's clues, there was 3 of them. I give you initial of an artist or a band, a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
You work it out, you email it in, you win a signed picture and that. First one was, well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it.
Go on.
Right, so that was B.
Yeah.
That's, that was Beyonce. Beyonce. Like, like a cryptic thing. You got that? Second one.
I'm stunned.
Beyonce.
That part of my leg is English. The initial was B. That was Britney. Right?
Britney.
Yeah, so it's like British. Britney.
But so you're just taking the one half of her name, are you then?
Well, she's known as that now. I think she's known more as Britney than Britney Spears. They don't really call her that anymore.
Also, British isn't the same as English.
Yeah, I know. I realised that, but it was too late.
Brilliant. That's what you're up against.
Just like that one who wants to be a millionaire.
The last one was the initials were KW, and the clue was the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment, right? So you've got to sort of think about that. You've got to think about the fitness teacher. Yeah. He's working out and that. Yeah. He's got a speech impediment. So when it like comes to like.
Well, no, you didn't say all this in the clues.
But no. But it was just that one was Kanye West, right?
Kanye West.
So I'm just saying.
Why did the fitness teacher say Kanye West?
Because he's got a speech impediment and he's been working them out. They've built up a sweat. He's like, right.
Well, no, you didn't say all that, so it doesn't matter.
But even if that is the case, what is he saying?
He's saying, all right, can we rest now?
As in, can we rest now?
Yeah, just kind of because they say that at the end. It's like, right, everybody.
So he's got a speech impediment. He's very, very camp, and he's adding words. Okay, but apart from that, it works perfectly. So that is bollocks. You're an idiot.
So that was the first 3.
Who won?
It was Gwymlyn Hal Jones.
Right, let me have a look at that name. There's no such name as Gwymlyn. What is Gwymlyn?
Is it something from Lord of the Rings?
Gwillem, Hugh Jones. Okay, and a signed photo of us is on the way to him. Lucky you. I don't know why he wants that, but well done, he got the clue. I don't know if that's a good thing or not to get the clues, but there it is. Well, there you go. So we're going to do some clues for next week?
Yeah, right. Again, same sort of system. 3 of them email in, and we'll pick one at random. Right, first one, the initials RP. Right. And the cryptic clue.
Not cryptic, go on.
Steal that woman's flower. Right? If you're gonna like make a.
Well, no, it's different now. What do you do? If it's a cryptic clue.
Let him finish it.
What is the clue? What is the clue and stick to it?
Steal that woman's flower.
Fine. Okay.
RP.
Right. Okay.
Right. Second one, B.
Is that the clue or the initial?
B is the initial, right? And cryptic clue. Keep whacking the cooker with a stick. What is it? It's a band or an artist. Kept whacking the cooker with some sort of.
What is it? Keep
stick.
or kept? What's it? If it's cryptic clue, everything matters. So.
Well, it doesn't really. Just think about whacking.
Well, no. Give us the clue again. Okay.
Just whack the cooker.
No. What is the clue? Do the clue. Okay. Do the clue. This is the clue, and the only right. But no. Wait. The initial is B, and the clue is.
Keep whacking the cooker with a stick.
Right, fine.
But it doesn't have to be a stick, though. It
Well,
could
no.
be like it could be any sort of.
Well, okay, then let's do the clue again. Okay, so the initials B. What's the clue?
Keep whacking the cooker.
Fine.
The last one, the initial M, and then the clue is Venice. It's all water, isn't it? Right? How would you describe it, right? When
Jesus Christ. Is this the what?
Let's finish the clue! I want to go home, I haven't slept, I just come back from Rio.
He might never finish the clue. It keeps going. It's full of water. I don't need a stick, do you? Use your hand if you want. Well, no, B. No. I mean, he might never finish.
Well, he's not if you haven't interrupted.
What's the initial?
M.
What's the clue?
Venice. It's all water. There's hardly any land, so how would you describe it?
Okay.
I think that sort of works. M is the artist or a band. Email in podcast@rickygervais.com and we'll pick one at random. Win some stuff.
Well, that's the end of episode 2 in this second series of the Ricky Gervais Show. So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Oi!
And...
Sorry, I just want to explain why that's a greeting in Brazil.
Is it?
You see someone, hey!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't just the me.
Why's your knob out when you're shouting and waving
Yeah,
at me?
that's why I did it. You see what was going on?
I'm Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hello, welcome to the 10th podcast in a series of 12. Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, hello, and of course, Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Now, thanks for all your emails. We've really started a community here, I think.
Yes.
We're all brought together by one aim. The fascination of the brain of Karl Pilkington, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
I
There's
mean,
thousands of people who are equally as obsessed as we are with it.
I really don't know why it's called the Ricky Gervais Show anymore. I mean, I was cynical at the beginning, but it's farcical. Welcome to the Karl Pilkington Show.
Well, people say they'd like to hear more from you and I, but I don't see why when you've got
Do you know
this
what I feel
in
like?
the room.
I feel like the ringmaster, but the real star is the shaved monkey in a jar that we bring out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the star of the show. You know.
Yeah.
Well, we've had loads of emails actually, and we've had one from Nige, who's done this brilliant cartoon of Karl on the beach. I think we should sell those as postcards. But someone's beaten us to selling merchandise. If you go to www.cafepress.com/Mr. Pilkington, someone is selling everything with Karl Pilkington's head on it. Now, these are bootleg goods. We're not making any money from it, but I'm strangely proud. I just love to see millions of people wearing a little t-shirt or a baseball cap or drinking out of a mug with his little round head on it. He's made a clock which is perfect because it fits absolutely, you know what I mean, the sides of the head go right to the edge of the clock because it's perfectly
I'd like
round.
to see maybe as well those sort of rubber or plastic face masks that you can buy for Halloween with just Karl's face.
Oh, just millions of people
Yeah.
all look like Karl. Oh, that would be amazing. What a world that would be.
James Bevan has emailed in. He's from Abergavenny in South Wales. I'm going to read this verbatim. Me and my partner Ellie Richards are both huge fans of the podcast, and as she's not aware of this email, I would love it if one of you, please, on the podcast, would ask her to marry me. So please ask Ellie Richards from Abergavenny if she will marry James Bevan. Cheers, keep up the great podcast work.
Well, that's done then.
Well, no, you see, now I was thinking about this, and I know that I'm the one who's read that out, but I'm thinking they're almost certainly going to want you, Rick, to do the questioning, because they don't want to go in years to come. Do you know who asked Ellie to marry me on my behalf? It was that lanky bloke you sometimes see stood behind Ricky Gervais at an awards do. It's too complicated. They want to go, it was the comedy legend Ricky Gervais.
But I think Karl's a comedy legend.
He is, but once again, Karl, you know, he might be a passing fad. You know, we might all get bored of him, you know, in a year's time. It could be like tie-dye t-shirts. So I'm thinking maybe whereas you know, you've made your mark on the comedy landscape.
Maybe I don't want to endorse this. I don't know what he's like. I don't want to suggest to a woman to marry this man I don't know. What if she goes back and sues me for selling some? It's like me selling the rest of her life to this bloke on the podcast.
No, because, you know, it's more for her if he's a loser and a weirdo and she agrees to marry him. She knows the guy. She's already got herself in a position where this man's emailing some people he's never met before. So she already understands what James is like.
Okay, based on your own experiences, Ellie, make the decision whether to marry, who is it? James or not.
I think just could you do one once more, because that's probably not quite as eloquent as they were looking for. So get on one.
Ellie, James says, will you marry him? This does not reflect the views of the management.
So obviously, James, you will obviously let us know what Ellie's response is. And we look forward enormously to finding out whether she's seen sense and said no.
Could he marry again in about 40, 50 years to say if the marriage is still going?
And also, we should just point out as well that if, you know, because I think 1 in 3 marriages end in divorce.
All right, don't bring the tone down.
All I'm saying is if they do end up getting divorced, we should not in any way be responsible for that.
No.
We can't be held responsible. We shouldn't have to pay any kind of child support if there's a kid involved. We're not paying any alimony. We are merely the messengers in this.
Yeah.
Karl, are you going to give them all the thumbs up there? Do you wish them all the best?
Yeah, you know, if that's what they want to do and that, just get on with it. It's all right. You know, some people are into all that, aren't they?
I mean, you've been with Suzanne a long time and still no wedding bells on the horizon.
Well, it's gone past that time now. I think if you don't do it within the first sort of 9 months or something, sort of it's kind of like, what's the point now? And I mean, she goes on about it a lot, but I'm not. No, I'm not sort of. I don't like all the attention and that. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone stood there watching and stuff. That puts me off.
So that's your only reason for not getting married, is it? You just don't like the event?
Mainly that, yeah. I mean, it's not the thing. Like I said to you before, if you could do it online, if it was just a little box that you tick,
Sure.
I do, send, get back to work by midday and what have you.
Yeah.
But it's like a full day and you've got to like smile and that.
Heaven forbid, yeah.
It's just hard work, isn't it?
Oh, pretend it's the happiest day of your life.
But surely, you know, if Suzanne, the woman you love, wants this very dearly, why not give it to her as a gift? Obviously, get your old work to pay for it. But yeah, why not give her the gift
Because
of the
I've
special
given her
day?
loads of other stuff.
Yeah.
We have an alright life, and I think that can mess it up. My brother got married.
We have an all right life. That's the best you can say. We have an all right life.
No, I mean, something I said to her, right, which, you know, maybe this could catch on, right, a way around it. At the end of the day, you only get married so you can have the same name. I think it'd be really good if when you go on dates and that, if you met people who have the same surname,
Brilliant.
and then you don't have to worry.
That's amazing.
Do a search on my other Pilkingtons. If you look all right, yeah, I'll go out with her. Job done. Don't ever have to worry about getting married and that.
Brilliant. That's one of the most stupid theories. Oh, no, it's not. the injecting the 78-year-old dead woman with a baby was probably worse than that. But anyway, let's move on.
It's the most stupid theory we've heard today. But I'm
Exactly.
suspecting there's going to be a few more before
Yeah,
the end of
exactly.
this
So
podcast.
far. Yeah.
Cheers for that, love. Yeah, it's Karl Pilkington here. Just telling you about Channel 4 on a Friday. We've got new Green Wing, right? That's nearly ready. My name is Earl, and the It Crowd. I mean, sort of being in the comedy business and that, I think it's fair to say I'm qualified to give my opinion, and these three things are funny. So yeah, stay in, watch it, have a good night, have a nice little brew with it, do what you want. At the end of the day, it's your life, isn't it? See it.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Still to come, of course, Monkey News and Carl's diary, excerpts thereof. I wonder if we should have a jingle for questions for Carl, because there's a lot of questions coming for Carl.
Okay.
Oh, chimpanzee, that question's for Carl.
Yeah, okay, no, fair enough, that works. This is from Jim and Bob in Manchester. Carl, if you could talk to any animal, which one would it be and what would you say to it?
Insect, animal, anything, fish, anything.
Well, they said animal, but that's broad
Well,
into anything.
animal.
Creature.
Insect is an animal.
Yeah, no, but I'm just, I don't want to get it wrong. I'm just thinking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there, isn't there? I'd probably go for the tortoise.
Okay.
Because it would take a long time to walk away from you while you were talking.
No, just because
Most animals would be off straight away.
Yeah.
just because they live for ages, so they'll have loads of stories. They've lived through a lot. You know what I mean? Through wars and stuff. If you get an old one, if you get like an old one, that's about.
Most of them have lived in a box in a garden for 52 years.
No, but you get some that have been about, and even if it's in a box,
Oh yeah,
you can over it.
they've really travelled, haven't they?
I mean,
Some of them have experienced more than you.
Yeah.
But they've broadened their horizons a bit more than you. They could probably teach you a thing or two, yeah.
And what would you hope to learn from them?
just history.
Right. From their very specific tortoise perspective. Other emails. We've had a lot of questions about time travel. People are fascinated about your approach to time travel. And I know we've talked about this in the past, but this is a very specific time travel question. If you had a time machine, Carl, to what event in your childhood would you travel back to and why?
What's the point in going back to things that you thought? No, it's just that it's never as good as it. It's like a place you go on holiday, and you go back thinking it'll be as good as the first time. It never is. So I don't believe in going back to places.
What do you understand the question as? Do you think they're asking, would you go back like a ghost and spy? Would you go back and you've got your childhood back, you are that child again, you're in the body, you are the child, or you've got your adult head and experiences, on, you know, you can...
Rick, I really don't think Carl was thinking there was any of those variations. Let's be honest. But now that you've flagged
I
him
think he was thinking of him as he is now in school with a cap on.
yeah. Too big for the chairs.
Yeah, come on.
No, I don't think I would go back. It's all happened now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's an email to a podcast for our own amusement.
Well, okay,
choose an event. Okay, forget the time travel thing.
Hang on, I think let's clarify one of Ricky's points. What if you could go back and you could live that moment again? How would you do it differently?
There's been times where I've gone, oh, that was a bit out of order or whatever, but then you learn from your mistakes, don't you? So I don't want to go back and change stuff, because it's like that thing that they go on about, isn't it, where they blame the butterfly on an earthquake. You know, it's going to happen. If it wasn't that butterfly, it's another one. So why pass the buck, is what I'm saying.
So you've got no regrets. There's nothing in your past you'd want to change or do differently?
What about if you went back and you spied like a ghost on something? You couldn't change anything, but you could have a look at someone and just sort of look, like Ebenezer Scrooge does with the Ghost of Christmas Past. He goes back and he's sort of like looking at himself dancing and stuff. Or what would you do? What would you go back and have a look at?
Yeah, but you're asking me to change. I don't want to change.
You're not changing, you're just observing.
It's impossible.
All right,
this question, it's not going to happen. You're not going to have to. It's impossible.
Right, yeah, I nearly died once, didn't I, on an ice pop.
Right.
Right. Now, maybe if I would have died, I'd say, well, let's go back to that, and I won't have an ice pop.
You wouldn't be doing the podcast if you'd have died. You wouldn't be having this email put to you. What are you?
That's absurd. You're now saying you're rewriting history and then going back to change it.
Yeah.
There's no need. You didn't die.
Well, and we've changed it. You can't change anything. You're just going to go back and watch them. Would you like to go back and watch yourself choking on a Mr. Freeze?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wouldn't go back now, because I'm all right. I haven't had one since. I've learned a lesson. I'm not missing them ice pops. So...
I know that you're making the most of this opportunity to fantasise.
I don't see the point in going back in anything. I mean, do you mean go back in time to the point of you can see, like, Rome in its working day?
What, in your childhood? Was Rome about when in your childhood? Were there gladiators in your childhood?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everything I've been through, so why see it again?
Forget it. It was just a nice little question.
I mean, that shows the lack of imagination in Karl Pilkington. Your mind can't fathom something unless it's, like, you know, got two heads.
But I don't see the point in doing something twice. Because the thing is, say if there's one good moment when I was about 6 that I loved, I'd then have to go through all the other 20 years again.
Well, why? Why have you imposed that? It's a fantasy. Make it up.
You could go back and come back again.
Yeah, whiz back and fast forward 35 years.
Nah.
Brilliant. No. Like it was on offer. Like this was really on offer. Move on.
Migrant workers in South China are wearing adult diapers on packed trains heading home for the New Year holiday because they've got no access to the toilet. Many supermarkets in this particular part of China have reported a 50% increase in sales of adult nappies for the train trips. Now, what do you make of that, Carl? You're on a long, long train journey, 3 hours, 4 hours.
You know there's no toilet. You know you're going to need to go. Pop on a...
Why isn't there any toilets?
They just aren't on the trains.
And they're a really long journey.
Yeah.
How long?
Hours.
Very long in China. It's a big country.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I'd have to hold it in or something. Just like, I mean, when I was a young kid, I don't know how young you are when you wear a nappy and that, but I remember that I didn't like it, doing it in a pair of pants like that, a pair of nappies and that. And I used to have to, even when I was too small to sort of get up on the toilet and that, because you'd fall in. My mum knew that I didn't like nappies and that. I used to just go in the corner, just near the kitchen, in this thing that, like a litter tray. That cat's having that. I mean, it wasn't like that, but that's you know, that's the same sort of idea. And I'd go there and I'd do my thing. And you know, my mum used to say, "Oh, he's going there. Don't look at him," and that, because it put me off. You know, like cats don't like being watched when they do it.
When they go in their litter tray in the kitchen.
No, they don't like it. I've tested it again.
What are you, just like a little feral kid, just running around and going for the litter tray, covering it up, and then running up the curtain and eating a sweet at the top of the pelmet?
No, but nobody likes being watched, and that's what I'm saying. If you're sat on a train and you're knocking one out and that, and everyone's looking at you, I don't think it'll catch on.
Will you ask
Has it
They're all
caught
doing
on?
it. They're just sitting there. They're doing, they're reading the paper, doing Sudoku, and they're looking round when they're going. They're thinking, oh, no one knows I'm going. And everyone's thinking that, and everyone's going.
I mean, it's partly because there are 120 million peasants from China's vast rural areas who swarm into the cities for work. And so, that sheer number of people means that the trains are so overcrowded.
I just don't. I mean, what are we getting to? You know what I mean? What's going on in the world that this is happening?
I know.
I mean, people have always had to travel for ages. I just don't. I don't understand why there isn't a toilet on it. We're going backwards. We're going backwards, aren't we? Why isn't there a toilet on it?
Well, maybe there is, but maybe people are thinking the queue is going to take forever. If we've got 125 million people
Yeah, but
going
not
back.
everybody wants to go at once. I mean, I know Chinese and all that are like at the forefront of everything that goes on in the world, inventing stuff first, but this isn't one of the best that they've come up with.
What have they invented then, the Chinese? Just
Loads of stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, well, no, you still asking. You seem quite educated on the subject.
They did them cat mop things that I told you about.
Brilliant.
This was where you put mops on the feet of cats, was that right?
Yeah. And they
Brilliant.
wander about the house, clean up and that, wash the floor for you whilst they're pottering about. They've done like hats with umbrellas on them. They've done. I mean, they're known for like coming up with stuff first.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was gunpowder, but yeah, cats with mops is good as well.
Just a final mention of one of the emails that came through from Phil Hobby in Falmouth in USA. He says, hello chaps, just wanted to let you know that I was at a party on Friday and I bought 2 remixes of I Could Eat a Knob at Night on a CD. Let me tell you, I played them at the party, they were a huge success, they were a smash. By the end of the night, the party was hip to the words I Could Eat a Knob at Night. Half of them were even singing along. So big thanks to you, Ricky, Stephen, Carl. Now, what would be ideal, of course, I suppose, is one of the big superstar DJs, if they could drop that into their set. You know, a Carl Cox, a Fatboy Slim.
Tom.
Pete Tong, yeah.
Boy Tom.
He got power, and I'd love to hear him drop it. Maybe even, no, I suppose Westwood would be able to put that in. I know he's more of a hip-hop guy. But, yeah, so, I mean, if you at any point ever hear I Could Eat a Knob at Night, the remix, at any kind of club event, let us know. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Well, now to one of our most popular features. I mean, this could even rival Monkey News one day. It is Monkey News. It's it's news from the point of view of a monkey, a shaved monkey. It's Karl Pilkington's diary.
Oh, he's written it down, yeah.
Was that the jingle, or were you just, annoyed about it? Okay. Went and did the podcast. We had a meeting after. I don't like meetings, as I can't keep focused on what people are talking about. I think Ricky has the same problem as after 25 minutes he was trying to wrestle me. I tried to do what spiders do and stayed still as if I was dead. But Ricky just stayed on top of me, not moving. A bit like when you see one of them big snakes swallowing a sheep. Ricky got bored and released me. I went home thinking, why had I left my old job for this? A homeless man asked me for some money, but I didn't feel like I should treat him as I felt that he'd probably had a better day than me. Suzanne called me to say she'd gone for a haircut and that she'd meet me in the supermarket. I went to the supermarket, but she wasn't there. I called her and she said she was near the fruit aisle. I went to the fruit aisle and she wasn't there. Turns out she was in a different supermarket on the other side of town. And that if I'd listened to her properly, I'd have known that. I didn't want to say that
What, you just went to the first supermarket you thought of, as opposed to listening to what supermarket? I'm in the supermarket. All right, bye.
I didn't want to say that I hadn't heard her properly because my ears were ringing a bit from the wrestling from earlier. 25 minutes later, I met up with Suzanne. Her haircut wasn't that bad. Normally, her haircuts are followed by an argument between us as she pays over the odds for some daft haircut that's the latest style. Brilliant. I wish she'd take a picture out of a magazine or ask for a style rather than letting the hairdresser do what she wants. I said I only tell her to do this as she's got a square head and a close-cut hairdo makes it look squarer. She said, what do you think of this cut? I said it looked all right, as I couldn't bother arguing about it. It's weird writing a diary. I don't know who thought of doing one of these first. The last time I did one was at school. They used to get you to do it so they could keep an eye on whatever you were up to. My diary used to say the same thing every night. Got home, went to the shop to get potatoes, bread, milk. Went home, watched telly, went to bed. I think I might have gone to Twiggy's Dance Club just so I had something different to write. You've not told us about Twiggy's Dance Club.
It's just you know, when I was a kid, I sort of gave everything a bit of a go. I did boxing and that, gave that a go.
For about 45 minutes.
And a mate sort of said, oh, you know, you're into your dancing, your robotics and that, you're doing your body popping, right? Body popping and that. He said, you ought to come to Twiggy's. And I went there, but I didn't go in, it was shut. They were just having like loads of toilet rolls delivered. I think like they were like using it as a storage place for toilet rolls and that. So I said, oh, I've come to have a dance. And like, oh, not tonight. Come back tomorrow. I never went back.
Brilliant. What a waste of an anecdote. Brilliant.
Just to recap, you're convinced then that the teachers are asking you to keep diaries so they can keep tabs on you. And then to continue the diary. As there were more problems happening on the estate, they started to add Saturday and Sundays to the school diary to keep an eye on what we were doing at the weekend. I struggled to fill it on a Sunday as the shop I got potatoes and bread from was shut on a Sunday. I had to go over to Shepherd's Bush to meet someone. I got the tube. There was a badly burnt man on the tube. It's amazing how the body can continue through quite a lot of bad stuff. It got me thinking about how much stuff you could remove in your body, one by one, without dying. If it was a competition, the cockroach would win, as it can live for a week without a head.
I just mean, like, say, you know, they run out of ideas for TV programmes and that, right? They get someone who isn't well. You go, look, do you mind if we make a programme on you? And what they do, they sit them in the bed, and they go, right, what we're going to do now is take out the heart, but replace it with a pacemaker. Right, go on.
No. Sorry, people with pacemakers don't have their heart taken out and a pacemaker popped in.
All right, then. Some sort of machine. What I'm getting to is...
Have you been playing Operation?
What I mean is the big finale would just be a head chatting with loads of wires going into it, and it's like, look what we can do with science.
That's what the programme's called. It's the same every week. The volunteer is just a head with loads of wires coming out of
Look
it.
what we can do with science.
And he's going,
goodbye.
Oh, I feel ill.
Got some post delivered to me today. It was... Oh, this
great. Makes it in the diary.
Got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington. I got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington. I opened it and the first sentence read, Dear Mr. K. Dilkington, you're one of our most valuable customers. I put it in the bin. Thought I would learn some new words, as Steve always says I don't use enough different words. I read in the Fortean Times that the word whew means an ugly female ghost with drooping breasts.
What do you mean?
Is that how am I pronouncing that right?
Who's using that word? Who is using that word?
It was just W-E-W-E.
Let's call it a woo. An ugly female ghost with drooping breasts. I think I'm right when I say there are too many words in the world. I don't think I will ever get round to using the word woo. Watched a health programme. Wasn't watching it properly, but heard some doctors say that we only get so many heartbeats in a lifetime, so don't do too much exercise. I told Suzanne, and she said I probably hadn't heard it right. We got talking about death. Suzanne said she didn't like thinking about it. I said she might end up being a woo. I was chuffed as I'd managed to use my new word. I went to the supermarket to get tonight's tea. On the way, I stopped and looked in the fishmongers at all the different fish they had in the window. It's like a child in one of those kids' TV shows.
I know.
Mr. Pilkington went to the fishmonger. He stopped and looked at all the fish in the window.
Hello, Mr. Dilkington, they said.
There was a newspaper clipping stuck on the glass about a two-headed fish that they've made in Taiwan. I don't see the point in doing this, as a fish having two heads ain't going to solve the world's hunger problems, as the head is the bit you throw away. Invent a fish with two bodies, and I'd say well done.
Good point, isn't it?
Suzanne watched one of her favourite TV programmes. I've told her the tally only goes on if there's something she wants to watch. If there's nothing on, she has to talk to me about stuff I've learnt. Like Descartes. Watched a programme on him the other day. He is the one who said something like, I know I'm about because I dream. Doesn't work for everything because ants don't sleep. I don't know if I'd like that or not. You don't know if you would like it if you didn't ever sleep.
Sleeping. It's just one long day. I don't know. Don't know how you put up with that. Do you think it'd be a good idea?
No.
Why not?
As you said, it would get a bit boring. You know, your sleep is your rest, your time off. It helps you detoxify. It helps you sort of think things through on a subconscious level.
But don't you ever get it where, I mean, sometimes it's brilliant to have a sleep when you're tired, but don't you sometimes feel
that's
like...
the best time to have a sleep, when you're tired.
No, but sometimes when you go to bed and you're not that tired and you're kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to waste some hours of my life now and I'm not really in the mood for this.
Well, that's just wishing you had longer on this earth doing creative things. I mean, if you didn't have to sleep, you could spend more time talking to a tortoise than going to the toffee shop.
All right, just doing a little advert for Friday Night Comedy on Channel 4. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You might be going out and that, doing something nice, which, you know, if you are, then fair enough, go out. But I'm just saying, if you're staying in, you've got new Green Wing, right, that's nearly ready. You've got My Name's Earl, The It Crowd, all funny stuff and that. Don't know about you, but, you know, I'll be staying in watching it, just having a bag of crisps and stuff, so... If you're staying in, put the telly on, do that. If you're going out, go out. Have a nice night.
Well, it's that time again. If you'd give us the jingle, please.
Oh, chimpanzee day.
Okay, now that surely cannot be fair on anyone's ears listening.
Right, ages ago, right, about the 1950s,
Oh, yeah.
there was this gangster knocking about. And do you know, like...
Was he called Hairy Fingers?
Do you know, like, a lot of gangsters like to get into gambling and that?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, like all these peers and that, all these mates who are like gangsters and stuff, they've all bought horses, right, that they take racing and they make money from them and that, don't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, he
And
was
Chuckles the Seagull was no different.
and he was like, yeah, that's a good thing to get into. I might get into a bit of that, right? So he gets himself this horse, right? And there's a big race coming up. That's why he's a bit of a last minute.
And the jockey turns up and it's fine. It's a human jockey and it's fine. Excellent. Okay, well that was another podcast.
So anyway,
please listen.
Oh, hang on,
next.
there's more.
Oh, come on.
So anyway, this big race is coming up. It's like I've got to be involved in this because I can make a lot of money out of my horse here.
Choose the jockey wisely then.
So he says to his mate, he said, look, I've got myself a horse and that. He said, we just need a jockey, get someone to sort it out, what have you, so we can get in this race.
Go to the jockey club.
His mate's like, yeah, all right, I'll have a word and that, have a look round and that, see if there's anyone decent.
And the good thing about jockeys is there's never been a shortage of jockeys because a lot of them don't make the grade. So there's always too many jockeys to go round.
Always too many human jockeys.
Yeah, there's never a problem getting jockeys.
Fine.
Go on.
So anyway, he comes
Was that
back.
true in the 50s as well?
It's always been true.
always been true. It's always
been
been
true.
true.
There's no lack of jockeys.
So
it's sort of close shot people are trying to do it and they don't make the grade. So,
but in the 50s, from your knowledge, there was not like in 1951 a shortage of jockeys for just one year.
absolutely never. I've known about
Okay,
that.
fine,
I'm quite
yeah.
keen.
Right.
Go on.
So anyway, right. So his mate says, look, I'm having a problem getting a jockey.
Seems odd because
this
Ricky's
is
just been
weird.
saying
No.
he's just been saying it's not a problem.
What do you mean? So
Just because the main problem was,
Go on.
a lot of jockeys were aware of this gangster and were saying, I'm not getting involved with this guy. The chances are I won't get paid. You know, he's a gangster. It's not worth it.
You would do it if it was a gangster asking you. You'd be scared of the consequences.
So anyway, he's saying, look, don't be coming to me with problems and that, right? I've got the horse. I want it in the race. Sort it out. So they're like, no, but boss. And he's like, don't give me any of that. Don't
exactly,
sort it out.
they do what he says. So any jockey would do it. Go on.
So anyway, the day before,
The big race, yeah. Left it to the last minute, okay, but
yeah,
fine.
and he says, have you got a jockey then? They're like, yeah, but, and he's going, don't worry about it, have you got a jockey? Yeah, but, and he's like, look.
He wants to say, sure. Yeah.
So, he's saying, has he ridden horses before and that? He said, well, yeah, he has, but mainly, and he's like, that's brilliant. He goes, yeah, but mainly in like a circus.
In the gym.
No, like in the circus and that, he'd worked with horses and stuff.
In the circus.
It's fine.
So he's like, that's enough, that's all I need to know.
Well, they'd be too heavy because circus people are quite built, aren't they? They're a bit heavier than the jockey because the jockeys are about 8.5 stone.
He said, brilliant, get him down there and that, right? Anyway, the race happens.
He didn't want to meet him beforehand. He wasn't worried.
No
about
point,
it.
not
No.
bothered. As far as he's concerned,
It's all sorted.
he's putting his money on it and what have you.
Yeah.
So what happened is they were trying to make him put on the jockey outfit.
Yeah.
But for some reason it didn't fit that well.
Sleeves too short, legs too long.
It's that sort of problem.
Okay.
So they let him, like, you know, wear his stuff that he wore in the circus and that, because it's comfortable with that. He's happy with it. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's happy with. Anyway, race starts and what have you. This horse straight out of the trap and that, high speed, right? This jockey's got a really big grin on his face. He's loving it, right? Everyone's cheering, going, "Who is this? Who's this jockey?"
Yeah.
It's amazing. Never seen him before, and yet look at him.
But they can see his face clearly.
Anyway, Gangster's happy in that because he's won.
But I just want to say the crowd can see the jockey, can they?
What?
The crowd can. I mean, it's
Yeah, but he's so fast and what have you.
It's a blur. It's all a blur.
He's good at it. I mean, apparently he was close to falling off, and people were like, he's gone, he's a goner.
Right.
He's got such a good reach that he managed to grab hold of
Oh,
the...
right. And well, they could tell he was smiling. They could tell he was smiling, but they couldn't see the detail of his face. Is that right? Just to clarify that.
It was just blur and that.
Sure,
was
but they could tell he was smiling.
Yeah.
They knew he was happy.
At the end of it, do you know, like the winner sort of rides around the crowd a bit,
Yeah.
sort of, you know, show off and what have you.
Yeah.
And all the women are there. And, do you know, like women are all dolled up at these events?
Sure.
They've all got big hats on.
Sometimes they got fruit on those hats.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
And one of the women,
Particularly Carmen Miranda was very popular.
one of the women had like you say, fruit and what have you on it,
Yeah.
a little banana.
Right. Some kind of
They're
Cuban
not real.
one.
They're not real though. The hats. They're
Not real fruit, is it?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Never.
So
But I don't know who. I thought they wore those sort of kind of Cuban entertainment shows. I didn't realise they wore them at events.
Even if it's like a big event, you know, you might have a hat with fruit, and it's sort of joke, but it's fake fruit because it would perish.
This jockey didn't understand that. He'd never seen false fruit.
I don't understand.
But why did the jockey suddenly? Why was he so desperate for fruit? I don't understand.
So anyway, meanwhile the gangster's collecting his 500 quid winnings. Right? He's over the moon. He kicks off because of this woman with the fruit.
Yeah, I don't understand. I still don't understand why the jockey would go.
Everyone noticed. Jockey, little monkey fella.
Oh, that makes sense. If he was a monkey, that would make sense.
Yeah.
What year was this?
It was 1950s, and that's where the saying comes from about, you know, like in Cockney slang, 500 quid is a monkey. He sort of put, you know, he put a monkey on it, and it all goes back to the time when...
So this happened in England?
In this country, yeah.
In England. So someone could well still be alive that we could easily contact. That
well,
would
that's it.
confirm
We
that,
always,
because
you know,
they
there's
would
no time length on this monkey news if you've got any, if it's history, you know, if it goes back...
Or if it's made up.
Just send it in.
If it's
to,
bollocks, send it in.
bollocks
If it's
that
actually
you wanna
bollocks,
send in.
please send it in.
That's this week's monkey news.
RickyGervais.com. Well, that's the end of the 10th podcast in the series of 12. Only 2 more to go. 1 more hour of the drivel that is the thoughts of Chairman Pilkington, or Dilkington, as he should now be known. This podcast was brought to you by Positive Internet. Those great guys at Positive Internet host the world's #1 podcast. It's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
If you want to get in touch, remember it's podcast@rickygervais.com.
And Karl Pilkington.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited. The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Welcome to the second in this series of 3 special free podcasts with the Guardian Unlimited. With me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
These are a special thank you to all the fans that bought the last few podcasts we've done. Still available on iTunes. You can't miss it. It's at #1 in the charts. Karl, it's Thanksgiving.
I don't know what that means. I don't know why we're doing this.
I'm slightly in agreement with you, actually. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Well, no, but it's, arbitrary dates are easy to remember for some people. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Easy to remember.
I don't think Thanksgiving is.
Well, it is in America, and
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, I've been around for 30 odd years. I've never celebrated one of them. I've never done anything about it. No one has. I don't know any relation who has ever said, "Are you popping around for Thanksgiving?" No, when is it? I've never done it.
because it's not celebrated in this
So why
country.
are we celebrating it?
We're not celebrating it. It's an arbitrary date to do a podcast.
I just don't know what it's about. I mean, before you celebrate something...
You don't celebrate Halloween, do you? But we did that.
No, but it annoys me how people don't actually know what the occasion is. They celebrate it. Kids don't know what Christmas is about these days. It's just like, oh, get some toys. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. So Thanksgiving, it's just another one, isn't it? It's another event.
Okay, why do you celebrate Christmas then?
Because everyone else does. You can't get away
Brilliant.
from it. I'd quite happily block it out. If I did a new diary, I'd leave out that date and go, come on, let's get on, let's do something good.
Well, you go on holiday every 2 weeks. What's that to celebrate?
No, I'm just
But
saying.
people need a little break, don't they? You know, it's a great
He
moment.
doesn't.
Christmas is a great time. Even
Yeah,
if you
but
take
the
away
problem
religious
is, what I don't like about it is everyone's off at the same time, so everything stops. See, what I'd do is, I'd say to people, do you like Christmas? Yeah. Right, when do you want to celebrate this year? And let them do it whenever they want.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Why? As long as you're remembering baby Jesus, does it matter when you're remembering him?
But I'm an atheist and I celebrate Christmas because it's a time of year where everyone is off and everyone gets together.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what they call it.
The fact that we're all doing it at the same time is what's nice about it.
No,
There's a
it's not.
sense of community,
No.
national community.
Everyone shuts down by about December 15th or whatever, and then it doesn't get going again till like January the 6th.
But what is it you're missing out on during this period?
Just it's like 2 weeks there. I mean, that bit between Christmas and New Year, you might as well delete that out of the calendar.
Yeah, because heaven forbid you
happens.
can't put down the library because it's closed. all that reading you've got to catch up on.
I'm just saying that we're wasting time.
What are you doing though?
I've never seen anyone on this planet waste as much time as you.
was gonna
If you're
say-
not on holiday, you're following an insect around the fucking park. So don't give me that shit.
I'm just saying that I don't like fun.
Never a true
Well, there we are. We've got to the nub of it here. You don't like fun. This is true. You don't like anything.
almighty, you do not like fun.
Organised fun. I hate that thing. I've said it a bit before about, you know, it's that date, that's what you've got to do. Will there come a time when someone goes, we've done enough of this? Will there come a time, and for Thanksgiving?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Things change, don't they?
And you'll be happy then, will you?
In 5,000 years' time, when we all worship Glong.
Yeah, we just make a change. That's all I want. Because, you know, I've been keeping a diary.
Yeah. What did you have in the cafe yesterday, for example? We can read about that later.
It's just like Ricky said, oh, are you gonna do, you know, another one next year? And I wouldn't, because it's, you know, you do the same stuff every year, don't you? It's set up the same way. January, February, it's the same thing, it's the same routine. Yeah. And if you're writing...
Why are they always doing them in the same order, those months?
It sickens me, Rick.
You see, it's just easy to put stuff off whilst we've got this calendar, whereas if you didn't have a date, you'd have to do everything straight away.
What?
Say if I was in charge...
Oh, God, heaven forbid, yeah.
And someone says, that building needs knocking down.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. If we didn't have a calendar, you go, let's do it now then. Whereas, because we've got a calendar, it's easy to say, next Wednesday.
I love him! His theories are amazing! I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is a real visionary thinker. Maybe he is free. You know what I like about him though? All his thoughts, they're about freedom of expression in a strange way. He's not burdened by anything. He just goes, well, why do we think like that? He questions everything like a true visionary scientist.
But who gets a diary come Christmas time, which I know you hate, you know, for the next year, and thinks, what a piece of shit.
now I've got to
I'm
put
just going to
something
do
in
stuff when I want to do it.
I'm going to take out next Wednesday. There's no such thing as next Wednesday.
But what I'm saying is, before the year's even started, I know in that new diary I can whiz forward to December 25th and I go, another Christmas.
I don't know what you mean.
So everything's set in stone before I've even started the new year. It's like, Pancake Tuesday, that's coming up. So someone's already
Remember
decided.
it's Tuesday.
Someone's already decided.
Someone's already telling me what I'm doing on half of the year. And it's just
All
been
those
nice.
pages of blank card for you to fill up with stuff.
Oh, guess what? Guess what my birthday is again? 23rd of September.
I'm just saying, move them about a bit, move the days about a bit so it doesn't get predictable.
But when we change Pancake Tuesday to Thursday, do we tell anyone else?
Yeah, they do an advert on the telly. Just saying, don't forget to buy your pancake mix.
But so why? Can't, why not just stick with what we've already got? Because if you know it's buying everyone anyway...
I wouldn't put a date on that pancake day anyway. Just have it when you want. Have it when you want. There's no big deal. You've got to make them yourself. It's not like some place is opening to do it. Have them when you want. I don't know why that's got a special day on it. Sick of it.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is based on new settlers to a new land surviving.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Karl in the week. We were talking about new settlers and everything, and I was thinking, imagine if you had to start a new settlement now, okay? There was something wrong with the world, okay? The world was kaput, okay? And we found another planet. So, Karl, if you had to go to a new planet, don't worry about starting life again. They've got sort of like these breeder clones that do all that, but you can choose 6 people from this world to take to start this whole new world, okay? So you need, you know, as I say, you don't need to.
So what's happening here? Is this?
It's going to be wiped out, okay? It's going to be wiped out, but there's enough on this spaceship for you and 5 other people. Okay, and they've got on there. They've got these sort of breeder clones there, so it's going to be populated. You're going to have the workers, the drones, everything like that. But you want to take 6, I suppose, sort of world lords to teach, to lay down the politics, the teachings, the laws, the government. Okay.
And how long have I got to make a decision on it?
Till the end of this podcast. Right, go. Who do you take? Who's the first person you take, and why?
And where are we going? Mars?
Okay, so a planet where there's an atmosphere.
I've got to know where I'm going because I've got to sell it to the people who I'm asking. There's no point when I go, where are you going? I don't know.
It's just like this world. There's oxygen, there's seas, there's rivers, there's forests, there's animals, okay? But we're going to populate it with the human race, and you can choose 6 people to lord over this new kingdom.
You want the best people for the job.
Yeah, so who's the first person?
Probably Patrick Moore.
Why would you take Patrick Moore?
Just because he knows his way about there, doesn't he? He'll know the way. So just have him. I think that will, whoever I pick next, if they see that he's going, they'll go, right, you know, it's going to be a long journey as it is. You don't want someone who's going to be going, is it left here? Is it right? Do you know what I mean?
And he can play the xylophone on the journey.
But Karl is more the most useful person to have if you've only got 6, because he may be very useful getting to the planet.
No, but I've always wanted to
there...
meet him as well. I've always wanted a chat, and that'd be a good chance, wouldn't it, when I'm in a rocket? How long is it taking to get to Mars?
I don't know, a year.
That's what I mean.
No, it's not Mars, it's somewhere else. Okay, so it's a year to get there and then...
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's a good chance to have a chat with him about stuff. And I think he'd be up for it as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you know...
Why do you think that?
Just because he spent his whole life talking about what's going on up there, isn't it? And yet he's never been. And I feel sorry for him. You know, most people, when they're into something, they get to go to a place, don't they?
Sure. People who don't know who Patrick Moore is, he's an 80-year-old astronomer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So let him have a bit of a good life.
So Moore's on board?
Yeah, Patrick Moore. He's on. Right, out of 5 others.
4 others now.
Jamie Oliver.
Why would you take Jamie Oliver?
Just food and that. You need someone, because they say that like you know, you can feel down if you don't eat.
He couldn't convince 8-year-olds to eat a carrot. What's he going to do in this brave new world? They're all going to be on turkey Twizzlers.
I think he's got the right attitude. He wouldn't be faffing about. Remember, we've landed now on this new world.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. The people who...
Listen, I love Jamie Oliver. I think he's great. Yeah. But he wouldn't be in my 5 people to start a new world. That's all I'm saying. Nor would Patrick Moore, because he knew the way.
Well, what chef would you pick?
I wouldn't pick a chef. Why would I pick a chef?
Because you want someone who's going to... Like I say, food's important. When you're low, there's nothing better. If you're a bit fed up, there's nothing better than having a good...
But Karl, I don't think you've quite grasped that these people have to start civilization again. They have to be wise people who can make the laws.
Yeah, and before you do all that, you need a good meal. So Jamie Oliver, that's his job. It's like when we get there, that's when he kicks in.
Right.
He's the first one, really.
Can I suggest something? just to save 2 places on Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver, take a map and a cookbook. Okay, who's number 3?
What sort of state is this world in? Does it need...
Oh, it's just going to take a fucking gardener. It's like the...
It's the world, but new.
It's that exactly. It's the world but new, untouched by humans. There've been no fossil fuels burnt, no machinery, no wars. Just this Garden of Eden. And you, Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver pitch up.
Plus, who else, Carl? Go now. First thought.
Attenborough?
Again, he's a genius, and he's a bit of a hero of mine. But I don't know if we need Attenborough.
Just because I reckon if it's a new world, you're saying it's the same, but they always say, don't they, that all worlds are different. So I'd want him there, just to sort of, when we're roaming around, because we'll all stick together for a bit, won't we? When we're roaming around...
Then they'll be sick of the sight of you. They go, let's lose Carl.
But you've got 2 men so far who've got a combined age of about 150. I mean, if you're starting a brave new world, dare I say, not going to be around very long. Shouldn't you be taking some younger, fresher blood?
No, not really, because they haven't lived, have they? These have lived, and they can and they're useful, like I say. Patrick Moore's done his bit, he's got us there. Oliver has cooked us a dinner. Day 2, I reckon we'd end that on day 1 there. We'd have a dinner, we'd all have a chat.
I don't think you're thinking of the future. I think you're thinking of the journey, and then the first night. Okay. So you've got David Attenborough, you've got Patrick Moore, you've got Jamie Oliver, you've got 2 other places.
I get the feeling that you're not so much recruiting people for a new world as I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out.
As a dinner party, people you'd like to meet that you've seen on the telly. Oh, come on, and 2 more.
I'd take someone who's a bit daft. Just so...
No, you don't need to, Carl.
That's covered, believe us.
Yeah,
no, that's what I mean, though. I don't want them having a go at me going, why are you here? I've got to point the attention somewhere else, to text someone else who'd sort of wind them up. So
who's that, then?
Paul Denham, or something like that.
It really is. I'm a celebrity. So you've got Patrick Moore, you've got David Attenborough, you've got Jamie Oliver, and Paul Denham.
Starting life again.
Okay then, brilliant. Oh God. Right, one more. This is amazing. It's going to be. I'd love to go back and visit this in 1,000 years. What teachings they laid down. Oh God.
Don't know. It'd have to be a woman. I think you've got to have a woman in that little group, haven't you? Who's... Could have another woman chef or...
She's mainly eating.
He's got that covered with Oliver, but no, he's got to take Nigella in case he's in a cream cake kind of mood.
Oh God. Delia Smith was furious. She packed her bags and everything.
Or a nurse.
Now you're thinking.
Abby Titmus? Carl, I know you like to be kept abreast of all the latest breaking science news. Did you read recently about the blind mice that they have been able to make see again? And hopefully they're whatever they did, which allowed these mice to be able to see again, they're hoping to be able to do with humans in maybe about 10 years' time. Or at least begin tests in 10 years' time, which is pretty impressive, isn't it?
How many of these mice did they experiment on?
3, probably.
Right. It wasn't taking place in a farmhouse, was it, at all?
I didn't read the intricacies of the...
Did they have tails? Did they still have their tails?
The 3 blind mice?
Because, they're...
I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. Well, what's your concern?
Well, I think I know what happened there. Yeah, I think the farmer's wife probably got annoyed at them running after her.
Right. But how could they run after her? Because they're blind.
I don't know. I think they used a sense of smell and hearing. They could hear clogs, and they followed the sound of the big flat clogs. Right. But they got their comeuppance. They lost their tails, so now they're blind with no tails. Is that not the story?
I think you've confused. Okay. Another more recent story.
Okay.
with that one. Okay, well, we'll leave that then. Carl, thoughts though? That extraordinary, isn't it, to be able to cure blindness would be a remarkable achievement in science.
It is, but it's just that thing how they say they've done it on mice and what have you.
Yeah.
If I was blind and I went in for the meeting, the doctor,
Yeah.
and they said, do you want yours doing? And then they said, like, I've done it on mice, that wouldn't be good enough for me. I'd say, look, when the blind fella gets in, don't say we've done it on mice, just say we've done this on eyes. If he goes, what eyes? Just say just a pair of eyes.
Yeah.
As soon as you say mouse's eyes, it's like, well, it's not the same. And it sort of, it would make me go, I'll leave it.
Yeah. And then you wake up and you can see, but you've got very tiny eyes right in the you put in mice eyes. I'm scared of cats.
It's just eyes. I think I just don't like having my eyes messed with, and even if I was blind, you know, I wouldn't like it.
Right.
And I think mine are more active than most, my eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, I went for a what's-her-name. See, you don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Oh, Christ almighty.
He's the same, what are you, 33?
He's a hypochondriac.
And you talk like you're a 7-year-old.
Honestly, the slightest thing, he's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes, now his leg's rubbed 2 times a week for some reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, there's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington. He's going, oh, right. Christ almighty, do some fucking work.
No, the thing is, I've been, in the last, 30-odd years, I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you, you're 30, what are you?
33.
Right, 33. Sorry to start off with such a hard question. But how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I got on with it.
At 3? At 3?
No,
Well, you didn't get on with anything at school, did you? Because you were just titting about.
Yeah.
You weren't working out there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then, okay, good.
Yeah, but I
right.
had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, when I kicked my height when I was a kid...
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
And
knows
also
that.
the phrase kicking my own height.
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your... No one understands,
You kicked your leg up to the
Kicked my
height that
height.
you were at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
if
kicked
you
my
were,
height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just say, I kicked my height.
so you're 4.5 foot and you've put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking?
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right, okay. Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, get Karl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
I
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin.
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
But why did
He
you fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I
yourself in the
didn't
head?
have to kick my height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high, I didn't think of putting my leg down.
What does it look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic.
He stayed there.
You sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, well, I'm loving this. This is brilliant. But what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep up. Whoa!
It looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back, and I did some damage, I think. And it's because of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, all them years and what have you, I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done, because when you get older, I mean, it was a kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well,
Do you think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever though, I'm just saying you've got to look after yourself. If there's anyone listening,
You could always
out there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what though, if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber.
Professional leg rubber.
And he sort of said a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of podcasts? I said, am I in charge of my brain? Or is my brain in charge of me?
Yeah, do you remember what I said? It's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah, well, listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber.
Professional leg rubber, yeah.
Right, and he is professional.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any point in this conversation.
He's a leg rubber.
So this, however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
Not just legs.
Does he do left and right? Or?
Back rubbing as well. He does it all.
Right.
So I'm in there, and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there. He's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up and I was going, right, whoa, stop that a minute, that's hurting that. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about...
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well, and your tendons don't hurt, it's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you go...
Yeah, but they hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up, and I went, right,
Was this above a laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
okay.
He's got towels there.
okay, yeah.
So,
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towns.
He's got towels,
halfway through his
underpants,
halfway through, he's saying, "You haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer?"
So I'm lying there, and he lifts the leg up, and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a doctor.
The outside of your body's longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid this as well. Put me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you've got some good advice there.
He said, you're pretty stressed? And I said, yeah. So it's, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that, so, that's...
He went, oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a trained professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft.
He said, do you, you should learn to meditate or something. He said, because you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world, as they tell me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person
Who's gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum.
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the
So
brain.
all you did was you met a person as stupid as you.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that within like 50
No, he saw it right
minutes.
fucking self coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go through him again.
The reason, I am doing it, I've got locked into it, I've got to go at least another 3 times.
Why?
Try to get out of it. I don't know, I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm
I
saying...
can't wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I can't know. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying...
Your blood's paranoid.
We were talking...
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said the thing is, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, so what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep...
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep...
Close your eyes and see. Instead of just leaving them open staring at the ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said...
Oh, fuck me.
He said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe, right?
Okay.
He said, and just think about nothing else. I said...
He's a witch. Did he say you didn't put a toad under the bed?
No, he just said, focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you. Next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualise
shut
it.
your eyes and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there, and it just wasn't working because...
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
Because I was...
You were thinking of a finger?
Well, no.
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next day, someone called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
No, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh God! Just when I think he can never go with so much stupid, he
You were still... What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. Because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm going to die. Right.
So if anything, this guy's just made your stress levels worse.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, if someone out there's listening, could you put in order the top 10 most stupid things Karl's ever said? And to me, that is number one. That is now number... Well, that's overtaken... is your brain in charge of you, or is you in charge of your brain? Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, Chipbats, that has only gone and written it down.
The jingle there to announce yet another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. When are you going to write until, Karl? What have you got? You're going to do...
I've got to do...
As far as December and then that's it?
I don't know, when does the diary end?
31st December, usually.
Yeah, do it till...
Typical, always the same.
Yeah, that's when I'll do it till, and then...
Why do that? Why be conformist? Why end on December? Why not end on January the 31st? Weird that you should go... Don't be constrained to what the diary says.
Me mum called me to ask me to like... Fuck me, you're right. That should be. Me mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get through.
She thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's,
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
There's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got a news story about how Aldrin, brackets astronaut, has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake, working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
People are going, see you tomorrow. Oh, I'm going home. They'll be going, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. Yeah, I'd done it over the years.
Christ almighty, what dribble!
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when Suzanne goes in. She never indulges
No,
in
it scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't scare her, it bores her. Okay. I'm knackered today, and the face feels dry and spotty. Oh God!
It starts off moaning. The first thing he does is start moaning. He wakes up and goes, "Oh fuck me, I didn't die." Oh God!
I'm knackered today, and the face feels dry and spotty. I think it's the change in water since being away, or it could be all the Madeira cake I had yesterday.
I'm gonna burst.
The Madeira cake dries you out, does it?
Well, it's just quite fattening, isn't it? But I like it. It's one of these little pleasures.
Suzanne, I went for a wander about to try and find the UFO Data magazine for my mum. I didn't know which category to look under. There were too many magazines. I noticed how on the rude magazines, the women are being pretty rude on the cover, but on the gay magazines, it's just a fella smiling, showing a bit of arse. I don't know why gay blokes would buy it. Blokes have got their own knob to look at if they like knobs. Why were you looking at the gay magazine?
No, I wasn't. It's just that...
Oh, you were?
No, I
You
noticed
studied them.
Yeah, because I was looking for UFO data. I don't know where they put
I
it.
don't think you find evidence about the world's down man's pants. Yeah, I don't think you want to boldly go where no man's ever saw. Right, Karl, that's not how it works. You can't just go and say, oh, I'll have one of them.
They're not bothered. It's for charity.
Karl, of course they are. You can't buy an alpaca for 20 quid. Christ, I went plus postage and packaging, they're big bastards.
Read about a pub that is getting some stick because they've stopped a horse going in. It's been the horse's regular for ages. But there's been some new owners who've taken over the pub and they said they're serving fresh fruit and don't want a horse in there anymore.
Oh, God. We've got to publish this diary.
There's some dynamite stuff in
We've
here.
got to publish the diary. I mean, this is never mind, peeps. Can't we put this out next year or something with a special CD? It's amazing. You can't keep this from the world, Carl.
I met Suzanne after she finished work and we went for a brew in another cafe.
God, Jesus.
It's always having a brew in a cafe.
It's like a sitcom.
Suzanne said I look tired and fed up. I think it's because I ain't been sleeping.
Or the Madeira cake. You don't know. Always been going to every news agency in London, looking at gay magazines.
She taught me some way to breathe that will relax me. I wasn't feeling that relaxed though, because the person behind the counter was banging about making a coffee. Noise stresses me out. I wonder if less deaf people die of stress than people with working ears do.
Oh, it's the theories. It
is such a noisy world, though, isn't it?
It is. London is noisy, very noisy.
I think just everywhere, just noise in general. They were saying now, like, every noise has been used at least 5 times or something.
What do you mean?
Because there's only so many noises in the world.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's only so many
What
noises.
do you mean every noise has been used 5 times? I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means.
Because...
I don't know. I've no idea. Every noise once has been used at least 5 times.
There's only so many noises. It's like a piano, isn't it? There's only so many notes.
Yeah.
And there's only so many noises.
Right.
But because there's so much stuff, the same noises are being used again.
I don't know what that means.
By whom? Who's reusing the noise?
By whatever.
So a woodpecker when it's woodpecking?
Yeah. Some birds make noises that would sound like a Ford Escort, just because there's only so many noises that people can use.
What is he talking about?
Noises are a byproduct. Outside an instrument, noises are a byproduct. A machine, they don't go, watch me make this noise, make this machine. It makes the noise it makes when it's doing something.
But why does it make that noise? Why not pick another noise?
They don't pick the noise. The printing press makes the noise because it's the sound of the thing going down.
Yeah,
you
so
know, a hammer makes that noise because that's what it does. No one's going, can we make this make a different noise? No, it's a byproduct.
I know. So there's only so many noises.
I don't know what you mean.
You said the byproduct is because of something that's happening, right?
But it's the physical action, isn't it? And the way that impacts on the surrounding air. That's what how noises are manufactured. It's not a choice.
When Stevenson's rocket came, I went. You make it go. That's the noise it made.
I know, but then, say like a new frog comes out.
Oh, what do you mean a new frog comes out?
They find a new type of frog,
right.
It makes a noise, and they'll go, I knew it was going to sound like that.
What are you talking about?
Because there's only so many noises. No animal comes out and makes like a weird noise, and you go, I've never heard that noise before. They go, that sounds like a chicken, or it sounds like a Ford Escort, or... There's only so many noises.
Frog sounds like a Ford Escort.
There can't be many, because you've used Ford Escort twice as an analogy here. So you're running out of noises. You've come up with chicken and Escort so far.
I can't explain.
But the problem is, a Ford Escort sounds a bit like an Austin Allegro. So
I know, yeah. And a chicken, you're ripping off the turkey, you gun. Chimpanzee, that is competition time.
I think my worry there is people might get confused with it because that jingle is very similar to the Monkey News jingle.
There's aspects of it that's similar,
Yeah. Some people might have just heard that and they might have just heard chimpanzee and thought, great, it's Monkey News, but Carl presumably is too lazy to have actually prepared any Monkey News.
Oh, I've got some good news about Monkey News, actually.
Have you?
If you are craving Monkey News, then there is a special Monkey News poster in the CD, the 3 CD box set, the Ricky Gervais show. Got everything. It's got the 12 shows and MP3, it's got the best of, and it's got an extra hour of brand new material as well. And the reason we did it on CD is because some people were saying, I've heard about this, but I can't listen to it, I haven't got an iPod, I haven't got a computer. So buy that for a friend who can't listen to these.
It's the perfect Thanksgiving gift.
It is the perfect Thanksgiving gift. or Pancake Tuesday. And we've signed one that's going to a lucky winner. We did a competition on the last podcast to give away one of the CD box sets, the World of Karl Pilkington, and we've signed that, and Flannels of the Deep, the new book in the series.
Can you remind us, Rick, of the quiz question?
The quiz question was, do you want these?
Okay, and what was the correct answer?
It was yes.
Well, we've had... it's amazing, actually, how many people didn't realise that was... We had a lot of people saying, no, I'm not interested, who are you, why are you bothering me? But amazingly, Rachel Bolland from Glasgow has got the correct answer. She said yes. Now then, we need a new question, Rick.
Yeah, should we give those away again?
Let's give those away again, the same things again. Not obviously these, we'll send these to Rachel.
Different ones. You get so you get. Do you want a signed CD, The World of Karl Pilkington, and Flannels of the Deep? Okay.
Plus, we can also add to that, Rick, the forthcoming extras script book.
Ah, not just a script book, Steve.
No.
It's got some wonderful pictures, but taken by Rich Hardcastle, of people like Ben Stiller and Sam Jackson and Kate Winslet behind the scenes.
In their off-duty moments.
And it's brilliant. It's really good. We'll put some pictures up on the website. Go to rickygervais.com and you'll see what you could would be winning.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So we've got that perfect collection of stuff, but we need a new quiz question.
Okay. Okay, so those prizes... does someone else want them?
Does someone else want them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if you know the answer to that, then get in touch. podcast@rickygervais.com. Good luck. It's a tricky one.
Oh, good luck anyway, because I never read the emails. Well, that's the end of the second in this series of 3 special podcasts. That was the end of the Thanksgiving edition. With me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
See ya.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Thank you to Positive Internet, the guys that host this podcast. They're doing a great job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited. The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hi, Ricky Gervais here, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there, all right?
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Yeah, welcome to the 4th podcast in the series of 12. It's after Christmas now, that's it for another year. All right, everyone had a nice Christmas?
Oh, yeah, I had a blinder. I had an absolute blinder, mate.
Good presents, Karl?
Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Get anything good? Odds and ends.
Not that I can think of.
Odds and sods.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah. A friend of mine got a gift, or rather gave it as a gift. I don't know if you've been familiar with these. It's a charity organisation, and you go on their website or you phone them up, and you can give someone else the gift of, say, a goat for an African family. So you say, this is what I bought a goat. And they go, oh, brilliant, where is it? And you go, no, it's going to a family in Africa. And it's a sort of goodwill thing, you know what I mean?
So you buy an African family a goat,
that will help them for years.
And it's like you're saying, well, I would have bought you a present.
Yeah, but I've used that money wisely.
Yeah, so it's almost like they've given
Exactly.
the present. They've given the goat.
Yeah, it's a beautiful idea. But as soon as he told me about it, I thought to myself straight away, knowing Karl's views on charity and giving, you know, particularly at this seasonal time, I wondered what his views would be.
Well, are they happy with the present over there? Like the people who are getting it?
What, the African family?
Yeah, is the African family sort of going, oh, I hope someone gets us a goat?
That's nothing to do with Christmas for them. They're not sitting around thinking, I wonder if Santa brings us some food. It's a long-term thing. These are happening all year, I assume. It goes towards a pool of money that goes to... It's not like they get a... You're an idiot. What, you think an African family wakes up and there's a little goat with a ribbon tied around it, and they go, oh, look what Santa brought us.
Look, and that mince pie's gone and that glass of milk.
You're such an idiot.
No, but what I'm saying is, does that family want a goat?
Yes.
But why?
It's not they want a goat, it's they need a goat. Do you think... What do you think this organisation is?
Just arbitrarily giving goats to people.
They're going to say, oh, I wanted Nintendo. What are you thinking?
Well, what I'm saying is, right, let me put myself in their shoes. Well,
This will be a
haven't got
first.
any, but say I'm one of them, right, over there, right? I'm hungry, right? I'm sat there, it's Christmas Day, right? I open it up, open the present, little goat there, right? Now, if I was one of them, I'd be going, not another mouth to feed. At the end of the day, there isn't enough food to go round for themselves, never mind a goat. Don't they say like having a dog and that is quite expensive? Sometimes they say, you know, what with all the injections you've got to give it, the food, the tin food and everything, it mounts up. And what I'm saying is, that's all very well giving them a goat. Who's looking after it?
Well, I'm assuming it's all above board. The goat's had its injections. That's what some of the money goes towards. It's given to them so they can milk it and have milk and cheese and whatever. I don't think it's a burden. What is this? What do you mean? They wake up Christmas Day and open a present. It's not like
so there's
that.
a thing, if there's a goat-shaped thing in wrapping paper, I wonder what that could be. I hope it's that goat we asked for. My God, it is!
All I'm saying
It's just a nice marketing way of distributing wealth. It's the way of going, this is a nice gift. It's like people, sometimes they say, don't send flowers at a funeral. They don't send flowers. Give some money to the local hospice. Yeah. It's just a way of redirecting cash.
But the thing is, why do they want that goat? What's the main reason? What does a goat give you?
Milk.
Right. Now, wouldn't it be easy to just send them a bottle of milk? Without all the hassle and the headaches that come with it. That's all I'm saying. And the other thing is, think about the goat. That was happy over here. Suddenly, it's on barren land. No grass.
I'm gonna burst! What do you mean?
You didn't send a goat from here!
I'm saying, who's happy at the end of this, right? You've got a fella who hasn't got a present over here because the mate bought him a goat, right? So yeah, let's do this properly. So there's a tick. He's not happy, right? Then you've got the person who's opened it, who, like you said, wanted something else, right? It's a goat. They go, who's going to look after this, right? So tick, they're not happy. And then you've got the goat going, what am I doing here?
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Tell you what, a lot of people are wondering, Carl, is what I received from Ricky this year.
Go on.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing. I remember actually after my birthday, he said, oh yeah, I'll be getting you a little gift. Forgot. So I've had nothing from him this year. He's got a little bit of cash in his pocket now. What I'm hoping is that maybe he'll pool it over the next 5 years and buy me something I've been reading about recently. Now, you definitely love this, surely. Have you started seeing this now? Virgin, I started plugging Virgin Galactic. I think it's something like 200,000 quid, and you'll get a chance to go in a space shuttle into space. Now, I don't know what your feelings are, Rick. You know, I know you've probably got a bit of cash in the bank.
I was thinking of giving you another signed extras DVD.
Anything. It's the thought that counts, so that would be great. But
so I've got some knocking round. I can give you one of those. I know you've already got one of those, but
sure.
I don't mind. They don't cost me much.
No, great.
And do you like the book Flanimals?
I know it's aimed at 5-year-olds, so I don't know why.
But you know that's going to be in the little selection box for you.
Great.
But no, the trip into space. I don't know about that.
I mean, you've got a bit of cash. Would you think about that? Would you be interested, you and your missus, going into space?
You have to be. I mean, it's not the money. There is things that I would spend 200 grand on as a little folly, but I think an individual jetpack, for example.
Right.
You know, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Earth from a couple hundred miles up. That'd be good, but I don't know if that's quite worth it yet. The other thing is the safety, because I'm worried that I want to see a lot of people go up there first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the first bloke to go on an aeroplane.
No.
I'd want to see a few pioneers go, it's really safe, before I got on something like that.
Well, I believe the actress Victoria Principal is volunteering herself, so I think she maybe used to be in Dynasty or Dallas. So,
well, I'll see what happens to her.
Yeah.
If I think if she can do it, then...
No, if Vicky P comes back all right, rather like those monkeys they sent up years ago, then we'll all be a lot more relaxed.
Exactly, if they put electrodes on her, and it all works out fine.
And there'll be a banana, issue bananas, and there'll be buttons, press left, press right.
Yeah, and I might consider it. Carl, thoughts?
Going to space? Nah. It's not worth it.
Why? Wouldn't it be a fascinating experience to go into space and look back at the Earth?
There's no out there, though, is there?
There's an out there... Say that again.
Well, there's no out there, though, is there?
Right.
I mean, at what point are you all meant to be happy? Do you know what I mean? You're floating about up there, and because you don't get out, do you?
What, you mean to do some duty-free shopping?
I'm just talking, you don't go floating about, do you? You stay in your seat.
Well, they probably let you move around on the shuttle.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about getting out. For me, when you
What,
go
you
on
want to
holiday...
get out into space?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. When you go on holiday, the flight bit isn't the best bit of the holiday, is it? That's the bit you've got to do. So what I'm saying is you've got to stay on this and then you go back home. So you don't take luggage, right? I don't see the point.
Right, so you're there, you're sat in your own clothes for the whole time, same clothes the whole time.
But I don't understand what is the point.
I think it's the view. I think it's two things. I think it's the view and being able to be part of an exclusive club. I went into space. It's all that thing about man conquering nature, and you're one of that elite few that have managed to pop up, see the world from a distance that no one else can see it from, and then pop down. You know, that's it. Of course, yeah.
So you all that way just for the view?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? I mean, there's a lot of other places I haven't seen anyway, right, before I think about that. I think if you've done everywhere... I haven't been to Scotland yet, right?
Right, yeah.
I'm not being funny, but do you know what I mean? So just have a look in your back garden before you go looking in someone else's.
In space.
Yeah.
What would make it a trip worthwhile for you? I mean, if you did go into space, if we gave it to you free of charge, we said, Carl, go.
I know the answer. I know the answer to this, Steve. He's thinking, I'd like to meet some aliens that can talk like I do, and I can understand them, and they can tell me something. Like what? Oh, they met God, he was all right. That's the sort of thing, that's what he's going to say. He'd like them to look like monkeys in spacesuits.
Yeah.
That would be his ideal thing. He'd like to go to the planet of the apes.
He'd like to go to the planet of the apes.
He
I
would
do that.
love
They
to
could
go
arrange
to
that.
Look, he's nodding. He's nodding. Thoughts, Carl?
Yeah. I mean, for me...
What do you mean, yes?
Well, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
What would be brilliant?
Seeing a little alien and that, having a chat with him, find out what's been going on.
What's been going on?
No. But don't you think that... Like, I mean, if you bought me that as a present, right?
Yeah.
Either of you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that happy. For me, that's a little bit like...
Well, that's annoying because we've got you a trip to
just
space
pulled
and a
together.
goat.
Yeah.
Do you know how, like, I am interested in sort of going on another planet. Right? Not,
Carl, you are on another planet, mate.
No, but do you know what I mean? It would be quite sort of interesting.
How do you think you'd get there?
Well, yeah, you'd go on a rocket and stuff, but what I'm saying is, at least you know when you get there, you're getting out, you're having a bit of a wander. But I wouldn't be happy in just the journey bit of it, that's what I'm saying.
That's great, isn't it?
But the thing is, right, because I was looking into it a bit, because I was reading about the Virgin...
Yeah.
Right? And I was reading something that in 1971, right, 3 of them went up there, can't remember their names. Wasn't the main one, it wasn't like the Buzz and the Armstrong one and that. Another 3 blokes went up. And there was one bloke in the rocket, right? The other 2 wandered off, had a walk about, seeing what rocks they can find in that. And that bloke who was in the rocket, right, he was the loneliest man ever in the world.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know if that's some sort of profound poetry or I don't know. Do you know what I think he's trying to say? I think he's trying to say that he was... What are you trying to say?
No, stop for a minute, because I just want to just recapture that moment. Just say that again, that sentence again.
Right. The other 2 had gone off picking up rocks, right? He sat on his own in the rocket, and he was the loneliest man in the world.
Okay, I know what he's trying to say. I do, right. Well, right. He's trying to say he was, by definition, a human furthest away from all other human contact.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay. No, you said loneliest. Loneliest evokes an emotion.
Yeah.
But
it's like he started crying and writing poetry and listening to Morrissey records.
You mean he was the most remote man?
Well, yeah, he was saying how, like, he's on the rocket on his own, right?
Yeah.
And I think I worked it out because it was in kilometres, right? And I think it turned out that they, right, the other 2 spacemen picking rocks and that, they were 2,500 miles away from him, right? So they were miles away. They
2,500 miles?
Yeah.
But they had each other.
They had each other.
Yeah.
You had the world right across the other way, everyone getting on with their lives.
Yeah.
He was on his own. That's weird, isn't it? But what I was thinking is, right, say, because I always sort of try and put myself in a situation,
Yeah.
when I hear about a weird thing that's gone on, I always think, what would I do? You know what I mean? And I was thinking about it, right? Do you think when he got up in the morning, he still bothered to put his clothes on?
That's the first thing that came into your mind.
No,
when
just
you
because
pictured
I
him in
always,
there.
you know, at the end of the day, even if like my girlfriend Suzanne's out at work and that, I'm not happy walking about with everything out because you never know what's going to happen.
What do you mean, like getting it trapped in the microwave?
Oh, I just mean, you know, you never know if someone's going to turn up.
No, I don't like what I don't like. No, I always pop some pants on or a towel, even if I'm
Not
alone.
always. Because I've knocked on your door when you've been stood there with.
No, he's taking his trousers off.
I did it especially, knowing that you were there. I've done it especially to annoy you. Yeah, so.
But do you know what I mean? Do you think he was walking about the rocket with his tackle out, or did he go, well, you know, no one's watching here?
Do you reckon it floats up or down? To
Depends how long
space. Depends how long it is, yeah.
I don't know what I mean by that, but that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
But don't they have cameras for NASA to monitor what's going on inside the spaceship?
Not all the time. No, I bet they've got to give him some sort of privacy.
No, that would end up on the internet. Floating around with his floating on.
Well, if you are the man who was up in a space rocket and was for a short period the loneliest man in the world, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you did with your time, how lonely you felt, and also did you float around with your cock and balls out? What was that like? Did it float up or did it float down? These are just some of the questions that we'd like. So if you are that person, or maybe you know them, maybe they're a neighbour of yours, then you can get in touch with us at podcast@rickygervais.com.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
We've done radio and stuff in the past, Rick, and we have never had the kind of response that we've had from these podcasts. So
It's
people
amazing.
are emailing in by the hundreds of thousands. It's meant, well, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but I didn't count them, but thousands certainly. Crazy amounts of email. I couldn't really get through them. I've just managed to pick out a few.
It's because it's global now. It's people all around the world are listening, and that's so exciting. We've got just loads from America, Australia. It's mad.
Yeah, New Zealand, Canada, and these are just some of the ones that I've pulled out from the email because there's so many of them. Podcast@rickygervais.com if you want to get in touch. Rob says he listens to the show in his exams, which I'm sure cannot be a good idea. I mean...
No, because that's a waste. What I'd do is the night before, I'd record all the answers and then listen to that, as opposed to me, you and Karl Pilkington.
But surely you're not allowed to listen to your stereo or your iPod in an exam. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Well, he's probably got it's probably up his back,
Right,
a little
yeah.
wire, wired to him, covered in sort of like some sort of fake flesh and hair, and then just pops into his ear.
It's all changed now, though, isn't it, as well?
What do you mean?
Well, they're allowed calculators and that, isn't it? It's just sort of...
Sorry, I had calculators in my exam. What world?
What do you know about exams, Carl? You never showed up.
But what I'm saying is, years ago, a calculator wouldn't have been allowed. We've moved on a bit now, haven't we?
What year was this,
I don't
though?
have an iPod.
With loads of people with abacuses.
I don't know.
Anyway, Rob's question was this. Brilliant.
I've never heard him admit that before. I think we've broken his spirit. Carl, you go, I don't know. Oh no, we might have put an end to the phenomenon that is Karl Pilkington.
Monkey news still to come.
Anyway, listen. Rob's question is this, Carl. It's specifically to you. Carl, if you could have a superpower, like Superman, what would your superpower be?
Can I suggest consciousness? Yeah. Can I have the power of thought?
Remember, you've already got opposable thumbs. So cross that one off the list.
Oh, go on, Carl.
There are so many to choose from. Telepathy, X-ray vision.
Flight, invisibility,
Choose it wisely.
strength, intelligence.
But why have I been picked?
Oh, for God's sake!
No, but I'm just saying...
It's Rob's question for
No,
you.
but I'd just say, does anyone else want this? Or... Do you know what I mean?
Oh, what do you wish you could do that's impossible is the
because-
question,
no, because-
or out of... What? What do you mean?
Because with that comes a responsibility. is what
With
I'm saying.
enormous power does come great responsibility.
So, would you like spidey senses? Is that what you're saying? Would you like some senses? Would you like some sense? The power of sense?
Come on, Carl. You know what these superheroes do. They can.
I know, but it
they
always...
can freeze things.
They're never happy, are they? Do you know what I mean? Spider-Man that wanted to tell that girl that he could climb walls and that. He's like, I can't. Superman never told Lewis and that.
Who's Lewis? Who's Lewis?
It's just a pen pal, Superman.
Lewis! His little secret chum! Yeah! Alright, Superman. Hello, Lewis. What are you doing? Superman. Who are you? I can't tell you, Lewis. Brilliant.
You know, Hulk, he wasn't happy. So...
But you're being allowed to choose the superpower. You don't have to get it forced upon you like the Hulk.
Hulk, he wasn't happy. It's true, he's got a theme. He has got a theme. There's not many happy superheroes, are there?
Leaving aside the superheroes you're already aware of,
Yeah.
What superpower do you want? You don't have to fight crime with it, Carl.
Everyone around the world now is thinking, what can Carl choose? Let's deliver it to him now, Carl. Think about it and give us the answer, please.
Let me just remind you of some of the other things. Invisibility.
all the time, though, or can I sort of turn that on and off?
Let's say you could turn it on and off. Would that interest you?
Yeah. I'll have that.
Right. Okay, and what would you do with this power of invisibility?
Just sort of wander about and just not get seen.
It's a brilliant power! It's a brilliant... And it's put to such brilliant use. It's brilliant, well done!
And why would you want to walk around and not be seen in that? What would you gain from that?
Don't know, you could sort of go in shops when they shut, so you don't have to go...
How would you get in?
Just get in just before they lock up.
Oh, yeah! How would you get out?
Wait till the morning.
Brilliant.
So, hang on. So that's your use of invisibility. Yeah. They found the power of invisibility. You want to sneak into... Never mind. No, hang on. You want to sneak into HMV, right? Wait for 12 hours and then buy something.
I love it.
Just so that you don't have to be in there with other people.
Do you know what? I don't want it. I don't want a power.
Why not?
Because I just don't think it'll do me any good. I think it's more of a hindrance.
I love this. It's like, just think of his presents. We've given you a go, a trip into space, and the chance to be invisible.
Not happy with any of them.
Yeah, what he wants is a voucher for HMV.
Yeah. He just wants some tokens for a record shop. Just going through a few more of these emails. This one is from David. He's in Los Angeles, California, 22 years old. He says he loves the show, but he says, with respect to Carl, never before have I understood so little of what a man says. Virtually everything that Carl talked about was aloof to me. What on earth was he ranting about? Flies and condoms, monkeys and pushing the left button, cavemen and dinosaurs. And that's just some of you... I mean, let's be honest, if you are in America, I mean, firstly, the accent is probably a problem.
But that is the best write-up we've ever had.
Yeah. Flies and... Imagine if you're a new listener, flies and condoms. What on earth does that mean? This one's from Kent Plummer, from Nova Scotia, Canada. He says, Carl, he's wondering if you've got any personal mantras that you could pass along. For instance, he reminds us of Ben Franklin's famous mantra, waste not, want not.
Who said that?
Ben Franklin.
What did he do? What was his job?
Benjamin Franklin was a well-respected American politician from the 1800s. He was a thinker, a philosopher, a scientist, deeply respected. Also a big political figure. He features on the dollar bill or the $10 bill or something. Yeah. So he's one of the great sort of American Enlightenment thinkers. Right. And he came up with the mantra, waste not, want not.
You must know waste not, want not. I mean, that's just...
Do you understand the phrase waste not, want not?
No, not really, no. What does it mean?
You've never heard that?
I think I've heard it, but I don't know. I've never used it. But when someone else said it, I don't know.
Well, in context, I mean, all I'm going to do now is paraphrase that and put some prepositions and stuff in it for you. I can't work out how you can't work out what that means. It's like, don't throw stuff away because you might need it, and therefore... You won't be wanting anything because you didn't throw it away. So...
So he was a bit of a hoarder.
If you don't waste food, for instance, then you...
He's a bit of a hoarder!
For God's sake.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, he's a man in power. Is that the best thing he ever said?
No, I'm sure he came up with many, many profound
why
things.
is that
He did experiments in electricity and conducting electricity, all sorts.
But that impresses me more, inventing electricity, than someone...
He didn't invent electricity.
Wait a minute! That impress you more than what?
Just saying, well, it's not, want not. I don't think it's that good. It's not even catchy. What I don't understand is why he was the first person to sort of suggest, look, don't go chucking that out, keep it, you might need it later. If I
He
said,
wasn't the first person.
Say that again. That is brilliant. Why hasn't that catch on? That is amazing that you've just come up with there. That's poetry. How would you word it?
I'd just say, whoa, don't be chucking that out. You might need that later.
Don't be checking that out. You might need that later. Karl Pilkington.
Whereas someone like you
2005.
that waste not want not is perhaps a little bit more pithy, a little bit more...
We should go through great sayings and phrases and
See
say
if he
Karl.
can... Well, firstly,
Yeah.
does he know what they mean? And then secondly, can he improve them?
That would be brilliant.
Well, we'll make a note of that next time.
All right, let's see. Okay, Winston Churchill. Never have so few done so much for so many. What do you think of that? How would you... Do you know what that means?
So he's saying,
Well, it's with regard to the Battle of Britain and the pilots that gave their lives.
yeah, I'd just be annoyed if I was one of them who gave a lot for a few or whatever, right?
No, gave a lot for so many. If you were one of those few
if
that
I-
gave so much for so many, i.e. it means these few good men, their actions freed the world. They freed the world. They have an impact on every person in the world, and they were few brave men, yeah, and that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I was one of them men who gave up his life, right, I'd want a name check. I don't want to be bungled in with everyone else who is saying a load of blokes gave up their lives, well done and that, see you later.
That's brilliant.
Did you just say bungled in?
Bungled in.
You made up a
I
word.
want to be bungled in.
You made up a word. See, that's it. You see, we've been looking for it. That's original. That's Karl Pilkington. I don't want to be bungled in.
Email here, Rick, from a man I know you're going to look forward to meeting one day. Paul, the party animal Parker.
He's
I imagine
back.
he had a wild Christmas.
Oh, well,
imagine
I
the
don't-
fun he got up to.
He's sitting now in sunglasses with his mum giving him some soup because he's partied too hard.
And I'll tell you this, I wish I was around there for New Year. Imagine what he's going to get up to.
If he recovers in time, it's going to be mental. What's he want?
Anyway, Paul the Party Animal Parker, he sent in a fact. That seems to be his thing now. He sends in facts he thinks might be of interest to us. The kiss that is given by the bride to the groom at the end of the wedding ceremony originates from the earliest times when the couple would actually make love for the first time under the eyes of half the village. Now, a couple of questions straight away. Firstly, this is almost like a Karl fact.
Yeah.
Because there's no specific time or place. It was earliest times.
Earliest
I don't
times.
know whether that means the wedding ceremony in this country, in America, in Africa, who knows?
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, it's a little bit vague. But this is the thing that struck me. Actually make love for the first time under the eyes of half the village. And you wonder why it's only half the village. Was it like, were they raffling off tickets?
Yeah, the winners.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
come and see two people getting it on. The rest of you, no, tickets only. It's cordoned off.
It started off, and then a few of them got bored. Once you've seen one stroke, you've seen them all. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if there's any truth. But what about that, Carl? How would you feel with that if you had to?
At what point does that happen? Is that like, they go, like, I do. Get your knickers off.
Well, presumably, if it's the origins of the kiss, you may kiss the bride. The old vicar used to say, as they were jumping over the broomstick, he used to go, right, give her one.
Yeah.
And then
You may knob the bride. Don't know how quick the lovemaking has to be, whether you've got to get in and out, boom, and then, you know what I mean? Because people are hungry, they want to eat, they want to have a disco. Or whether they can go on for hours and people are just eating,
I
chatting.
tell you what, Sting's wedding must have
So go
been
on
a
for
lot
hours.
of affair, wasn't it? The guests was bringing in their own
Brought
cake.
sleeping bags. Thermos flasks.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Right, do you know we've chatted about charities before, haven't we?
Sure, yeah.
Done a lot of stuff on that, right? Just coming back from Manchester, right? Got off the train at Euston.
Yeah.
Right? Off the train, walking through the busy bit and stuff. There's this fella stood there, right? Good charity worker.
Yeah.
Right? Nice looking fella. He's got his suit on, the tie and everything, quite respectable and that, right? Look down at his bucket. All the money's been put in the bucket and that,
Yeah.
right? On the front of the bucket, right? He says, collected for the homeless at Christmas. Now, why can't they do that?
What, the homeless?
The homeless people. Why is some fella taking his time out, right? His own time where he could be at home. Why?
Some of us have got homes to go to.
Why? Do you know what I mean?
What, do you think just give them the buckets?
Well, what are the homeless people doing whilst he's doing that? Is what I'm saying. What have they got on the timetable?
Cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. Give all the homeless a bucket with homeless written on it.
For Christmas.
Yeah, no admin.
No.
Just keep everything you get, mate.
You think of that?
It's a brilliant idea.
What would prevent a homeless person and an entrepreneurial homeless person just getting a bucket and writing that on there themselves?
Could I suggest something? Hunger, some drug addiction, traumas, often mental illness. Just possibly too depressed to get up, put a suit on and go to Euston Station with a nice bucket with some writing on it.
And then, right, I was thinking about that, right, and I was walking down the street in London with Suzanne. Saw a little homeless. Well, I didn't see the homeless bloke, right? I saw a leg, right, sticking out of a doorway. Thought, here we go, right? Walked past it, right? You're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Homeless.
Yeah.
Chinese fella. I've never seen one of them. No, I'm not having a go, right? Well, have you seen? Do you know what I mean? That was a shock.
I really don't think I have. I think he's got me there. I hate to say it, but I must say I can't remember ever seeing a homeless Chinese person. No.
No, I suppose you're right. Thinking about it.
Weird, isn't it? I literally said, I was walked past and I said to Suzanne, "Did you see that?" She went, "What?" I said, "Just look back there." She said, "What?" I said, "That homeless fellow, look back at him." She said, "What?" I said, "He's Chinese." And she said, "Yeah, good point."
Good point. Of course she did.
She said that to shut you up.
She didn't want to get into a conversation with you. Oh,
And what's
God.
your point, really? What exactly is your point?
No,
You're
it's just that we were chatting about homeless and that, and I saw that, and I just thought, I just found it a bit odd.
Right. Well, if you are perhaps based in America or Australia, Canada, have you ever seen a Chinese homeless person? This doesn't count to any listeners in China, but anywhere else, have you ever seen a Chinese homeless person? Podcast at rickygervais.com. If you have, maybe you've got a picture you can send us as well. But this is what we're looking for now. We're looking for how many Chinese homeless people can we find by, let's say, 2006. January 2006, January 1st. How many Chinese homeless people have you seen? Rick, it's that time again. It's what the whole world is waiting for now.
Is it Monkey News?
It is Monkey News. Please perform live the jingle.
Why'd you say that?
Well, we've got a few people saying, "Oh, is that a pre-recorded jingle?" Yeah, like anything's pre-recorded.
No, it's different every
We've got
week.
that technology.
I'll give it a big one, shall I?
Give it.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news, you.
There we go.
Right then, well, got an email from John. If you've got any monkey news going on in your area,
Just let us know. Podcast at rickygervais.com.
Oh, God, amazing!
probably get on email. And this one's sent in from John. Don't know where he is. But do you know, like, they're running out of TV ideas and that?
They're running out of TV ideas.
Well, they've done a lot of stuff. I mean, if you had to come up with a TV idea now, you struggle, don't you? Because every idea you come up with, it's kind of been done on it.
Sure.
Right? It's like inventions and that. Right,
They're not getting monkeys to come up with TV ideas, are they?
Well, no, right. But there's a TV channel in Moscow, right? And I think they had a bit of bad luck or something, a lot of redundancies and that, right? And whoever was in charge of it got a bit mental and got rid of loads of people, right?
Yeah.
And they come in the next day and they were like, right, we're ready to go live and that. And someone comes running with a clipboard saying, we haven't got any people left, right, to present.
That's such nonsense.
Right, but tell you what. Right, okay, carry on.
So he goes, what?
If just one employee turns out to be Simeon and is doing a good job, I'm never doing this radio show again.
So this TV channel, it's having a lot of problems and that. They've got to go live, right? He's like, what am I going to do? Anyway, for some reason, right, there was a chimp knocking about.
For some reason, that's the key piece of information, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Imagine if that was in a film. And I go, well, I can't see where this plot go. Well, he's just there. He's just there.
So anyway, so he sort of says, get it in a suit, right?
Why?
So, because they're running out of ideas, the clock's ticking, they've got to go live with something.
What do you mean? What, he's presenting?
His programme?
He's presenting?
Listen, it's a chat show. I'm not...
They can't
Again,
talk!
don't have a go at me, have a go at John who sent this in.
Right,
and
be
this
quiet, let's hear it. Let's hear it again.
So anyway, so like I say, so they going live, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what have you, chimp sat there on the chair, He was like, look, let's just get through tonight's show and worry about this tomorrow, right?
What are you talking about? So they put a chimp in a suit. What was that handmade, or were the sleeves a bit short on him? You idiot, think!
So anyway, it's sat there, right? And they're going, right, here we go. Good luck, everyone, right?
Yeah.
Chimp's there.
What programme is
It's
this?
a chat show.
Whose chat show is it?
Well, it's the monkeys.
I like the fact that
It's
they...
the monkeys now, is it?
I like the fact that they put the chimp in a suit. It's like, no one's going to take this chat show seriously if he's not dressed up, if he's not smart.
Slovenly, look at that slovenly ape.
So anyway, let's get to the point of it and that, right? So anyway, they go on, right? It's all going.
Didn't happen. There's no way this happened.
Here's a fundamental question. How was the chimp asking questions?
Not sure about that bit, but all I've got is the stuff that was on the news site for this. Like I say,
But it's rubbish.
Yeah, but I'll give you some facts. I've told you, there's a TV channel in Moscow that's having problems, right? I've explained that.
No, it's rubbish.
They've got rid of the presenters, the monkey sat there, right? Don't worry about it anyway, I'm telling you, it goes all right. So anyway,
okay, in case you're worried, Rick.
he's sat there, right?
Absolute
He gets to
shit.
the first break, they're like, can't believe it, right? You know, viewing figures and that, they're loving it, right?
What? No, what? How did they know the viewing figures in the break?
Please do not interrupt the news.
What did the chimp do in the first half?
They had a big guest on that week. And
And what did he do? Just talk to himself?
They walked off.
So Cher comes on,
I'm
yeah.
not sure, but say if it is Cher, right?
No.
Right, the main gaffer is like, oh, Cher's going to go mental. That was right for putting
Say it is. No, it is Cher. In his mind, it's Cher sitting there talking to a chimp in a suit.
So anyway, she
and they're
comes
filming
off.
it for Moscow TV, and the ratings are going through the roof.
Presumably there's a translator, because Cher doesn't speak either Russian or chimp.
She comes off, right, and the bloke who's in charge is like, she's going to go mad. She's going to go mad here. She walks up, she goes, I love that. Right? She said that's one of the best interviews, right? So anyway, they decided, right, it went so well, kept him on. He's still there.
I love the fact that Cher was an idea that Steve threw up, and now she's going, I love that, I love that, I love that, Jim, get me back there. I want to go to Moscow, never mind. Unbelievable.
Don't have a go at me, have a go at John, but, you know, if you've got any monkey news, send it in.
Podcast at rickygervais.com.
From the creators of The Office, Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. Extras, the first series, now on DVD.
Who are you? Nobody. What's that? Who? Nobody. That's right. Nobody. And who am I? So the Starsky Hutch, I can never remember.
You are guaranteed an Oscar if you play a mentor.
I've just written a sitcom, but I wonder if you could give it to anyone you know.
Is there any nudity in it?
Well, it could be.
Men or women?
Either. Well, just women. Yeah.
I will make it so.
A painfully funny double disc. Extras on DVD now.
Thanks for listening. Happy New Year, particularly to our friends at Positive Internet. who
Oh, those guys have a wild
They
one.
host this podcast and they do a brilliant job. Happy New Year to everyone around the world, and in particular, those guys at Positive Internet.
And also, Paul Party Animal Parker, have a blinding New Year, because I imagine it's going to be crazy.
You don't need to say it to
your
him.
mum's house.
I'm insulted that you have to tell him that, because there's no way you need to tell him that. He's going to have a blinding New Year, so don't waste your breath, Steve.
That's all from me, Steve Merchant. We've got Ricky Gervais here, and of course, Karl Pilkington.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Well, episode 2 of season 3 of the Ricky Gervais Show, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
What's been going on? What's been going on?
I've been to hospital. I was rushed to hospital, like emergency and that. Had a tube put in my knob.
You had a tube put up your knob?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Kidney stones.
Oof.
So, shouldn't really be here, to be honest, doing this. He said rest and that. Climbing them stairs on the way in.
To be quite honest, it doesn't look like you're expending a lot of energy at the moment. It's like at Zookeeper going, oh, that sloth move today. Calm down.
Yeah, but I had to get here. It's been raining. I
Yeah,
had to come up the stairs. I had to carry the computer.
yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true, because your girlfriend was carrying it. I saw her outside.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And then you handed it to me and said, Steve, carry this. So
Almighty.
Yeah, I know.
that's already a lie.
Christ almighty. Whinging.
Not whinging.
I'm in show business. I know loads of people that wake up every day with a sore knob, feeling like they've had their kidneys probed, and they would say they were unconscious. So they don't whinge about it. They get straight back onto it. A lot of them on TV now.
Yeah, straight back to hosting game shows.
So you're rushed to hospital.
So take us through the events, because it does sound quite dramatic. You started feeling a bit of pain, did you, initially?
Felt a bit of pain. I thought, maybe I just pulled a muscle or something when I've been wrestling with Ricky and that, because you don't know what damage has been done. So I just think, it'll go in a minute, and then it did. It got a bit badder.
It got badder, did it?
So then I thought, I was crippled. I was lying on the floor in agony, looking on the internet, looking for a sort of...
Still looking at monkey news?
No, I just put in like bellyache and stuff, and they were saying it can be loads of different things. What I used to do when I was a kid, I used to always just get a cold ashtray and put that on my belly, and the coldness used to get rid of the badness.
Amazing.
The coldness got rid.
Like a witch doctor. Yeah. This is like...
A witch doctor who happens to work in a pub.
It's like some sort of 5th century remedy written in mud. Coldness doth get away with the badness.
Why specifically an ashtray?
Just because they sort of old cold.
They're old cold.
I don't know what this is. I love this idea that he's at the operation and he comes round and they're talking to him, and his girlfriend gets a phone call and they say, Mr. Pilkington's got maybe complications, he's just talking rubbish. She goes, oh good.
Yeah, he's back to his old self. Why specifically an ashtray? Sorry, because it's old cold. I understand it's old cold.
Yeah, we understand. Everyone who's done a medical degree understands old cold, but old cold belly madness. If you want to buy that book, Old Cold Belly Madness, it's the history of abdominal surgery by Karl Pilkington.
No, it just,
So would you put it in the freezer or something first?
You can do if you want, but they're normally cold anyway. Sort of thick glass and that holds the cold. But we don't smoke in our house, so I had to use a plate.
Oh, well, that's madness. A plate's not going to work. Famously, a plate doesn't work.
God, no!
So you put a plate on your belly, but that didn't do anything.
That didn't work. So called Suzanne and said, I'm in agony here. She said, go to the doctors then.
Good advice.
So
a lot of people have done that straight away, as opposed to going through the plate ashtray.
So he went to hospital, and he went to hospital and he said, have you got an ashtray?
They went no straight an ashtray.
There's no smoking.
So anyway, then we get in a cab and whatever, you go there. I have an X-ray.
His voice is even more boring than usual, isn't it? Yeah. Fuck me.
And they put me on drip and everything. Give me some morphine and stuff. And found out that I had kidney stones. So that's why I was in hospital. And they get them out by... I don't know what's gone on, to be honest. I've got some tube inside me. From my kidney to my bladder. That's helping me stuff get about.
And so there's a little tube up the end of your knob into your...
Yeah, it's not there now. It's high up.
Right.
So it's high up between my kidney and my bladder.
But why didn't you have the thing where they go in the side? You have the choice to...
Because I said to the doctor, I'm not a doctor. I said, what do you...
And he went, stop putting yourself down, Carl. We need you in the operating theatre now.
He just said, I said to him, what should I have done? Because he said, if you want, go home and we'll get you in again or something. Something like that. And I said, no, I might as well have it done properly. Have it done now whilst I'm here.
Sorry, the choice was have it done properly or go home?
It was something like that. He said there's something you can do. And I said, oh...
Flush it out?
No, because it's too big. It's something like 7 millimetres.
And it's basically because you don't drink enough water?
Yeah. So, anyway, I said, what do you think I should have done? And he said, tube up the knob. And I said, not my favourite one of the choice, but if that's what you think. So he said, yeah, have that. He did me little diagrams, which didn't help. He was like showing...
How big did he draw your knob?
Sort of normal size.
Yeah?
It was all right.
You weren't offended by them?
Well, he went into detail. It's just, more the tube and stuff and your bladder and your kidney.
What was your ball bag like? Did he draw that?
He didn't do that bit. He left that bit out.
Okay. Right.
But he said, we'll just pop that up there. And then that's when Ricky turned up to visit. Yeah, came in laughing at me because we sat there in like me underpants and stockings.
In stockings?
Yeah.
Why have you...
He was there, and he wasn't in bed, he was sort of out of bed, his little drip, right? He had his little boxer shorts on, just sat there, right, in his pants, right? And he had stockings on.
Yeah, because they stop clots or something. They put them on your legs. It's like, you know, when people have got big veins and they go on a plane.
Right.
You said you're not a doctor.
No, but I've seen it because Suzanne's mum did it, and it was she put them on ridiculously early, like 3 days before we were going away. And she'd never been away before, and everything was like over the top. Do you know what I mean? She was like, best put them on. And, so I put them on, and they like, I don't know what it is. It's something when you're under, your blood doesn't move about the same,
Right.
and it can clot up in your leg. So you wear these tights.
And I came in to cheer him up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Was that a nice cheery experience in coming in?
I had a headache at the time. I think I was a bit stressed out.
Well, he's just the man you want at that point.
Yeah.
He reassured you, I imagine.
Well, it's weird how it suddenly all happened quick. It was like as soon as he came in, it's like they got the finger out. And when I say
Not
that,
literally. Yeah.
Suddenly I was being rushed down to, have me stuff done. And I woke up and there was an Irish woman over me going, are you all right? Are you all right? And I said, oh, it's stinging a bit. She said, I'll give you some more morphine. And I sort of put my head up to have a look at my tackle because I wanted to see...
If it was still there?
What was attached to it. Do you know what I mean? Because they said something about they might leave some string hanging out of it so they can pull the tube out.
It makes you talk.
So I had a look for that. Couldn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But as she put the morphine in, all the muscles in your body go funny. My head just collapsed.
Your head collapsed?
I sort of looked up to look at my stuff, but then she said, oh, you just need a little bit of morphine. And she put that in, and I just sort of went, oh. And then they sent me home about 2 hours after. But I'm in agony now. And,
are you in agony right now as we speak?
Yeah, certain.
Now, are you a man who's had this kind of hospital experience before? Is this your whole first time?
I don't go to hospitals and stuff because I don't like them messing about. But it does make you think now, do you know what I mean? Like, life and everything. It's weird how it's all happened in the last month, from seeing that bee sort of die.
No,
Well, not really.
No. This is not a near-death experience. You had a routine operation to remove kidney stones because you don't drink enough water.
No, I know, but...
This is not a shark attack.
Yeah, but it's all life-threatening, otherwise you wouldn't have to fill out forms, would you, saying if everything goes wrong, Suzanne can have the house or whatever. And then you find out more about the body as well, which has been sort of doing me head in a bit. You're more aware of stuff in your body, which I don't like knowing about.
Yeah.
They keep checking your heartbeats and stuff, and your blood pressure. I don't like knowing about that. I just leave it. It's happening. Don't be messing with it. Stop measuring it.
Stop measuring it!
No, do you know what I mean?
That's the same with the knob.
It's that thing of like, they put that thing
That's what the anaesthetist was doing when you were under, wasn't it? Yeah. He was comparing the diagram to the actual thing. Oh, God.
The fella across the way from me had the same thing as me, but he'd had it a couple of days ago when he was in agony. So that doesn't help. And he's saying, oh, I've been to hell and back. Like, don't tell me that.
Sure.
I don't want to know. Just say it was all right and stuff. So it just, the whole thing of a hospital is stressful. Do you know what I mean? They wake you up like every half an hour in the night, saying, how do you feel? It's like, oh, what? It's 3:30. What are you doing? I've got to have it done again in a couple of weeks. Because what they've done now, they've popped that straw up, but the stone's still in there because they didn't have the laser team in with them. Blast the stone, and then that time they're probably going to leave a little bit of string out the end. Then they have to go back 3 days later and they pull it out. Tell you what though, when you are because when you're in hospital, you've got a lot of time just to sit there and think about stuff. And what I was thinking about is, what is the closest thing to sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something, hasn't it?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
Something, at some point people were nothing, and then something happened and there was something. Do you know what I mean?
But they were never nothing, were they?
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
He's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
Right.
you go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a
There
huge
isn't.
difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub. He's not a cross between a human and a shrub,
No,
is he?
that's man-made
From a distance,
stuff.
you can't see him. That's the same as the stick
No,
insect.
but that isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like... They sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, there are insects that have evolved to look like a leaf. So a bird thinks, oh, there's no tea there.
No,
That's not a juicy insect. This is a leaf. I don't eat
Yeah,
leaves.
but at
Forget
some
it.
point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No. What? At no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a
No.
leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. There's nothing on a genetic level or molecular level, anything to do with it having anything to do with a stick or a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all that's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it looks like a leaf.
What I don't understand is...
It has evolved to blend in perfectly with its surroundings and fool predators.
But then how does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. They do it with pheromones and attraction, and it's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, oh, waste of my time here. This club's dead. Rude.
I was chatting to her, she was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But, Dave, that's not a stick insect, that's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night.
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great, slim figure.
No, it's actually a real stick.
But I've been reading a lot about, you know, like spiders and stuff, just reading about them. And there's one, right? It's got big legs.
Yeah.
Doesn't use them. It goes around floating in the air on a bit of webbage. Like a
He just took a gamble then, didn't he? He took a gamble, he thought, do you know what, I'm going to go with webbage. Don't know if it's a word, not sure, but I could just say web, and I'm going to go with webbage, I'm going to risk it. And it didn't pay off, did it?
Webbage!
But that's how it gets about. It's in the air like a kite.
Yeah.
It's just floating about.
I've seen one, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about weirdness. The way all that goes on, and this is what I can't get my head around.
You have got your head round.
But do they get ill then?
It's just, for those listening at home, he has just bumped his head against the microphone.
Trying to mate with it because it's perfectly round, this microphone.
No, but when I was, like, this is what I'm saying, when I was in hospital and stuff, you do think about how others live, because insects don't have operations. Are they built better than us to survive in this world?
The trap you seem to fall into again and again and again is you cannot conceive of the fact that insects and animals do not have consciousness and personality and communication. They do not function the way that humans do. You've seen so many Disney cartoons, you believe them now to have a life and wear bowler hats and go to work. But just in the same way that the cavemen didn't have Flintstone-type cars and have a little house,
But
you can't seem to understand that animals don't work in that way.
But what I mean is, you're saying that no animals or insects know anything. Yet when you see them things on nature programmes where a load of ants are having a walk, there's always one at the front who's leading it all. So one of
You
them's
just
got to
have to
know.
be first. Or there are leaders in.
Yeah, but the other ants are going following.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not vocalising that in any sense
No,
that
they're
you
not saying
understand
follow
it.
in, but they sort of look as if to sort of say, I'm going this way.
Without cognitive
speaking.
reasoning.
It's not made a conscious decision to act in that way.
Yeah, but this is when
If a bird, if a raindrop falls on a bird's beak and it moves away because instinctively it's hardwired to be wary of things which drop on its beak in case it's dangerous. It's not thinking, oh crumbs, I better get out of the way. It just does it because it's somehow hardwired into it to act that way. But it doesn't stop for a moment and think, which we don't really, except we then are able to rationalise our fears and our actions.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh, okay, you've moved on from
in the last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems to, he's done Anthony's done bees, he's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything, some of them are lazy. He will grant him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Karl Pilkington.
Carl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.
No, but even in times of danger, one was crossing the road and a car was coming, and you'd think that his head would say, let's start flying. Yet he just walked faster.
Well,
what's he doing?
It was doing stuff, wasn't it? It saved a bit of energy. Takes a lot to take off, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's either that or you're going to get crushed.
But it didn't get crushed, did it?
No, I don't think it did. No.
There you go. They knew what he was doing, didn't it?
Yeah, it just annoyed me. That's all. It's got a power, and it's not
power. They're all superpowers. These animals.
But that's why he thinks of the stick insect as like that. You mentioned earlier that's its power, that's its skill. Like Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider, and now he can solve crimes and swing with webbage, using his webbage. Whereas, stick insects it's not a superpower.
But say if everything was at the same size as us, what would be the best thing to be? Say like a tarantula.
Yeah.
And a tiger. What would happen there?
A 15-stone tiger versus a 15-stone tarantula.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine the 15-stone tarantula.
Right, so it's just weird that, innit? It's a good job that they're small. Yet things are getting bigger because we're messing with the world.
But it's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it? Because what would it eat? 15 stone. Well, it wouldn't happen anyway, because insects and arachnids and just invertebrate arthropods in general, they have a critical mass because they haven't got lungs. They breathe through things in their side called spiracles, and if it gets too big, the surface to volume ratio isn't big enough to allow it enough oxygen. So the biggest you'll find is like a foot-long beetle or somewhat weird.
It's big though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's about as big as they get.
So I wouldn't worry about
it.
Again, based on nothing, he queries you.
And also, it's not a case that one that will be born too big and can't breathe. It won't happen. That's why they're only that big, because...
But it's like fish, isn't it? How they say about a goldfish.
Yeah.
That thing about a woman who went on holiday and stuck it in a bath. She came back at 7 foot.
Right, that didn't happen.
No, that's a well-known thing about
goldfish. No, it's not a well-known thing.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because a fish will only grow to its surroundings anyway. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have to put it in a bigger tank.
Yeah, in a bath.
No, 7-foot fish in a bath, it just fit the bath exactly, did it?
When she got back off holiday...
Don't talk shit. What was it eating? What was it eating?
How long was she gone for? 2 million years?
Yeah. She went to Mars and that.
Yeah. It's just that fish are weird, aren't they?
Well, no, that's a bollocks story, once again.
No,
I don't know where you've heard it or read it.
It's a well-known story.
A 7-foot goldfish in your bath.
But, no, fish are weird.
Ted, you're not going to believe this. Come up here.
Well, how many fish do you see that have naturally died? That's the weird thing.
What do you mean?
Just ping-ponging around these ideas in your mind.
You just never see fish sort of just floating about in the water and you go, oh, died of old age. It's always been caught by a man or a shark's at it. You don't just see dead fish washed up, do you? When you think of the amount of fish... No, when you think of the amount of fish that are in the sea, there's loads of them, and yet you never...
Because they're eaten straight away.
That's what I'm saying, though. Are they eaten when they're dead? Or are they just being eaten?
Well, most things like that don't die of old age.
Yeah, that's weird though, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's a jungle out there.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I wouldn't want to live in the sea. Because you've got.
Are you sure you're not on morphine as we speak?
No, but in the sea, you've got to be constantly sort of alert, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's
stuff.
true of all animals.
No, worse than the sea. The sea is like full of. You've got an enemy around every rock.
I love it! I love it! It's like a warning to crabs and young squid. It's like the policeman that comes into your school. Yeah. What advice would you give? Okay then, what advice would you give?
Some plankton.
Now, what advice would you give a 2-week-old octopus?
And what am I? Am I an octopus?
No, you're you. We've set it up that it can understand you with some sort of one of your inventions to talk to the animals. One of your brilliant inventions is just a watch you strap on its tentacle and it can understand human talk. I'm sure you'll come up with that one day. What do you say to it? What would you say to an octopus, a young octopus, who wants to set out by himself in the sea?
Stay close to the rocks, and just let it know about the thing about it can get into a small space. You know, if you look at an hole, don't go, oh, I can't get in there, and sort of squash it and show itself. I can roll it into a ball and sort of say, look at that, is that hurting?
I love the fact that the drugs make no difference. It's like there's no difference. Oh, God.
Because that's the only thing that's got in it, it's boneless. So
that's its special power.
That's what it can do. You can roll it up, and as long as it knows that. But that's the problem with a lot of powers, isn't it? That's the same thing about how people say don't have a go at bees because they're not like wasps. They don't sting you because once they sting you, they die. That doesn't know that, does it?
It's also not true, but yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't know, so it's not like the bees going around going, I'm not going to sting you because I'll die if I do.
What's your point there? I don't understand.
I'm just saying...
We shouldn't dislike bees.
Well, how do these creatures know what to do?
Instinct.
I suppose it's like that story you told me about the scorpion, isn't it? It's that, innit?
What, the scorpion and the frog?
Yeah.
What, the fable?
Yeah. What was it? It was a frog.
The scorpion needed to get across a river, and it said to a frog, can you give me a lift? And the frog said, well, no, of course not, because you'll sting me, you're a scorpion. And he goes, well, no, why would I do that? If I sting you and I'm in the water and you drown, I drown. And the frog went, good point. So the frog gives him a piggyback, going across the river, halfway across, the scorpion stings the frog, and the frog's dying. And the frog's going, no, I'm going to die, and you're going to die. So why did you do that? And the scorpion said, because I'm a scorpion. And what do you think that was meant to point out?
Just sort of be careful who you help.
No. It's meant to point out that you are what you are. You are your nature.
No, but it's also that thing of like...
I'm telling you, it's nothing to do with
if you're driving and
no.
someone's hitchhiking, don't pick them up because...
No, it's nothing to do with the mentality or the reasoning or the anything to do with the frog at all. The point of it.
Well, I don't know. I think Aesop was thinking a lot about the hitchhiking problem.
It wouldn't happen. That's the problem with a lot of them fables. They're putting animals together that wouldn't meet.
Oh, whereas insects go around shagging leaves.
Well, insects are with the leaves, whereas I don't know where a scorpion is knocking around with a frog. I mean, there's that weird one I remember watching.
Annoyed.
I remember hearing something about this lizard that sort of gets pally with the scorpions, even though they're not mates, they don't get on. But they've kind of got this agreement that the scorpion can live in their house if they guard it. And there's the local people used to stick their hands down these holes and get the lizards to make slippers out of them. And the lizards were getting sick of this. And I think somehow something happened where the lizards thought, look, enough's enough. We'll let you sleep in our den if you stand by the door. So the scorpion used to stand by the door and stay awake at night whilst the lizard's having a kip. Fella comes along wanting to make some new slippers, puts his hand down the hole, the scorpion gets him. Now that's what's weird with that two enemies have worked together.
It's called a symbiotic relationship. But at no point did they sit down and go, right, what are we going to do? I'll tell you what, I'll give you shelter. You give me that sting in case there's a fella wants to make slippers. Because all this happened way before people were making slippers.
But isn't it weird though? Because people, there's nothing that happens like that in people, is there?
Of course there is.
What, like that, where you don't get on but you work with them?
Of course there is.
What?
Loads of business relationships. What do you mean?
No, but normally you stay, what I mean is you stay away. If someone's being a bit weird.
And there are loads of examples where you might go, well, I hate to do it, but my only option is to go with X, Y and Z.
But what I'm saying is, though, let me just finish.
Go on.
I live in an area where, you know, I sort of know a lot of the locals. And there's a local woman who's a bit mad. Now, I know her, but I choose to sort of stay away because it scares you a bit, doesn't it, when something's like that and it's unpredictable. So, you know, when I was in the little corner shop, she came in, right? She screams a lot, just screams for the sake of it. And you don't know if she's upset or if she's just doing it for attention, and the scream will go from screaming to laughing. So you're like, oh, what's going on? And it was like rush hour. It was like rush hour time in this shop, and she chose to go in then, and she doesn't work, so it was like, why is she coming in now? She's had all day to go in. Just picked the busy time. And she was like about 3 places in front of me, and she was only buying a Yorkie and some earbuds. Right? And I thought,
A Yorkie and some earbuds?
yeah, and I thought, what's the rush? You've come at the wrong time, and you bought stuff that could have waited. You should never have to rush out for a Yorkie or an earbud, is what I'm saying. Right? And I ended up sort of going, I can't stand this. And I left. Now, that was me being like I would expect the scorpion to be, or the lizard.
I don't know what you're talking about now. I don't know where the... Okay, what do you mean?
No, I'm just saying how, like, I chose that woman could be dangerous. So I'll leave her to it. And that's where nature kicks in. And you go, I don't want to be here. I don't know what she's going to do. She's unpredictable. I'll pop back later. And then, I look out, I can see the shop. I saw her go, and she was like laughing to herself again and trying to climb up some ladders. And I thought, once she's gone, I'll nick back. I don't know what my point was. I don't know.
Oh, he's only got to write it down.
That's the jingle for Karl's diary. We have bacon and egg on toast. I'm eager to get through the brown sauce, as the bottle is too big to go in any cupboard, so it has to be left on the sideboard. So I had about 4 dollops of the stuff. I love it because, that made it into the diary. He's concerned about the fact that brown sauce is too big, so he's rushing through it.
I know, but I'm just saying the kitchen isn't that big, and it looks messy when you leave stuff out, doesn't it? And we've got this giant brown sauce bottle, and I don't want to chuck it away because that'd be a waste.
So you're having brown sauce and everything, your
Everything,
cornflakes,
basically, yeah.
in your tea. A wasp got in the flat. You know trouble's brewing. It was massive, the biggest wasp ever. Suzanne asked me to get it out, but I wanted to take a picture of it first. I was getting my phone ready when it flew at me. I reckon the sting on it could have killed a kitten.
So specific.
It ended up flying out the window on its own. Drama averted.
Oh, God.
We went out for tea. You're always in a cafe. That's what, this diary, you spend so much time in a cafe. There were loads of flying ants. I kept kicking the table because I could feel them on my legs. I wouldn't be that jumpy normally, but I still had flashbacks of the giant wasp from the morning. Suzanne told me to stop being stupid because I was ruining her night out.
A night out in a cab? Brilliant. Oh,
what was it, her birthday?
And flashbacks from an incident. Yeah. Like he's some sort of war veteran. What is it? It's the wasp. It could have killed a kitten.
Bought some wallpaper. We got back and got on with it. The wall that we've papered before has got a big mirror under it. We papered on top of it again. I ended up reading the phrase book while Suzanne did the rest of the tidying up. Now, what's your phrase book? This is just you trying to master English, is it?
It's just a book that tells you little sayings and how they came about.
An interesting phrase is potluck. It came about when all people ate is stews. They used to chuck all sorts of stuff into the stew. You stuck your spoon in, and sometimes you got something nice like beef, or you could end up with a bit of frog. It's potluck.
Good night, isn't it?
That's what it said in the book, didn't it?
A bit of frog.
Got up and checked the wallpaper out. There are loads of air bumps and it's buckled on the joints. I wish we'd never done it. Suzanne said the washer was broke and it's out of its warranty. She called up the people who made it and they said it will cost £150 to fix. I don't know how they know that when they haven't even seen it. I want to smash it to bits and see what they can do for only 50 quid. So much anger.
I want to smash it to bits. That'd be great, wouldn't it? 150, you sure? Come round. And it's just like a cube that's been through one of those car crushers. 150 quid, there's 150 quid, fix it.
I watched the news and calmed down a bit because there was a story about some Siamese twins who are having an operation. They've got 2 heads, 4 arms, 2 legs, 1 liver. The doctor said they will have 1 leg each. I felt bad worrying about the washer when people have bigger problems like the Siamese twins. Ricky and Steve asked me to do a poem about one day a week, so I thought I would do one today. I can't obviously do it justice, so I should let the master read it.
You've done another poem?
Yeah, you said, just do one. If you have a day where you've had a lot of emotions.
Well, I loved the poem, and so did the listeners, and I knew they would, so if you can do that every week, that would be a joy for me.
You can't force a poem, though.
No, I know.
So a diary's easy to do, because you just write down what you're doing.
But you've got to have some really meaty subject matter to be able to write a poem, Rick, as you'll discover.
I know.
Right, so, you've heard what problems I had that day.
Go on then.
Bubbled wallpaper. What a mess. Washer dry and knackered. What a mess. Siamese twins separated. 1 leg less.
I don't know what rhyming scheme that is again. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, fuck me. Well, there you go. It's the end of episode 2 of series 3 of the Ricky Gervais Show. More next week. More drivel, more diary, another poem, I hope.
Maybe.
Just more news and stuff. From me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Karl Pilkington.
Right.
I'm Ricky Gervais. Philosophy is the science which considers truth. So said Aristotle, one of the great forefathers of Western philosophy. In its attempt to seek out the truths and principles of human existence, philosophy must answer questions of beauty, of justice, of language, indeed, of the mind itself. To help me consider some of the core concepts and presumptions of philosophical inquiry, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick, an award-winning writer.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And Karl Pilkington, a man with no education, didn't really go to school, no awards, head like a fucking orange, you know the twat.
Right.
To me, philosophy might be the greatest subject of all academic subjects, the mother of science, asking the big questions, why are we here, how do we live? But it's been sort of mugged and kidnapped by those people who put rubbish under the umbrella of philosophy.
Right.
Cod philosophy. I went to a library once, I looked in the philosophy section, and there was a book by Doris Stokes.
Doris Stokes being, for those that don't know,
a medium who said she was talking to the dead. There's crystals, feng shui.
Feng Shui.
Oh, God.
The interesting thing about Feng Shui is how, I remember someone came into an office I was working in once and she said, you're going to need crystal here above the lavatory to get all the negative chi out of the system. And she said, this crystal is £25. And then I went, we're not going to spend that. And she went, okay, I got one in for £5.
Brilliant.
It was surprisingly convenient that she had a number of different crystals that apparently did the same job.
We're also going to need a brush to get the shit out of the toilet. What have you got for that?
Yeah, there's a lot of that twaddle. There was a woman I remember once. I used to do a radio show on the BBC World Service, and she came in and she could tell from the coloured liquids that you chose, from a big selection of coloured liquids, she could tell a lot about your personality from that. So I picked up about 3 or 4, and she looked at them, and I chose like a blue one, just arbitrary, and she looked at me and she said, "Okay, I get the sense that you like to communicate with people, but on a global level."
You were working for the World Service.
As we spoke, we were broadcasting on the World Service. I don't know where, I mean, she just read it from the liquids. As a novice, one of the key catchphrases, if you like, of philosophy, and one that's always intrigued and confused me a little, is the famous René Descartes quote, "I think, therefore I am." A lot of people think of that as the epitome, in a way, of a philosophical statement.
First thing we ever did, I think, at degree level, and it's the one thing I'd already heard of. It's one of those things that sort of filters down, cogito ergo sum, as you say. I think, therefore I am, when Descartes was pondering his existence. Just before we get to his conclusion, Karl, how do you know this isn't a dream?
Just because I haven't been sleeping that well.
No, but you could still be dreaming, couldn't you? Because this could be a dream that you haven't been sleeping lately. You could be dreaming the last few nights you haven't been sleeping.
In dreams, they're different, like, I mean, like I say, I don't have that many of them because I don't sleep that well. But when I do have one, there's something different and vivid about it. Now, if I was dreaming all this, I reckon my boiler would have been fixed ages ago. I don't think anyone has a dream that goes on for that amount of time.
Well, it could be a nightmare, but the presumption... But I think you're also presuming that the dream that you could be dreaming needs to be exactly the same as the dreams you think of when you're dreaming. My point is, there's no way of you knowing that this life you're living now as you talk to us is real, and that it's not actually the imaginings of another Karl somewhere else.
There are actually no clues, Karl. There are actually no clues now that this is the real thing.
Well, sometimes, most of the time, it's 1 minute I'm awake, next minute I'm asleep, then I'm awake again.
Yeah.
Sleep's just...
Do you know the bit between you being awake and awake again? That's called a sleep.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever think things while you're asleep?
Vivid things.
It's that bit between the awake and awake I want to look at.
I told you about one ages ago where you burst in and I was on the toilet.
I never heard this dream.
The one that it was like everyone was German and it was at some gig or something, and you opened the door and everyone was looking and laughing at me, and I'm sat on the toilet, and you sort of said, "Oh, that's probably because you're uncomfortable with
fame
being put on the limelight."
Yeah, that you might be. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
But that's one dream that could be true.
But, exactly. Or there is a likelihood that you think, "I bet he's going to burst in."
I am always on edge when you're about, when I use the toilet here. Yeah. I kind of think, is he busy at the moment?
You have to wait till he's on the phone to go for a piss.
I have to sit there holding the lock.
Yeah.
It's a weird
it isn't normal. It's not normal.
But there's an example of a dream. But I think what you're failing to grasp is not so much the mechanics of whether this is a dream, but that you cannot know the truth of what you're experiencing. You cannot know that this is reality. It's a question about reality.
So
how do
let's
we
go
know
on
what
to that
reality
then.
is?
What reality is and what we like about reality. Robert knows it did this thing that if you could go into a flotation tank and you led a whole virtual life and it was the best life possible, you did exactly what you've always wanted. You became the person you wanted to be. You did the best things you could ever dream of doing, and you literally couldn't tell the difference. So it was your life, okay? And you lived your biological life out in that tank and died at 80 and had the best life any person could ever have. You could pre-program it. Would you get into that tank knowing what you know now, knowing that you would have the best life ever, with no heartache, no upset, no loved ones dying?
So what's happening when I'm sort of having a packet of munchies? Am I having them, or are they imaginary?
They're imaginary, but you can't tell the difference. It's the best packet of munchies we've ever had. I love the fact that you went into the flotation tank, and your one proviso was, "Are munchies as good?"
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I'm just taking it back to basics.
That is
Right.
basic.
You've got to pre-program your life. That's where you'd start, is it? Munches must always taste magnificent.
Well, it's just that if you can still enjoy the basic things in life, then that's when you can't go wrong.
You do. You enjoy it's the life you'd ever want to live. And you're living it. Sorry?
Bit dangerous.
Why? Go on, why?
Just, I don't know, because sometimes I think things don't happen for the best, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can sort of think, oh, I'll enjoy that if that happens. And then it doesn't happen, and you've had time to think about...
but this is perfect. No, this is built in. Because whatever happens is for the best. So not only when you're in this flotation tank are you enjoying yourself, that things just keep getting better or staying as good.
You never have a bad day?
You never have a bad day.
But how long would that last for before you go and fed up with this?
Well, why would you get fed up with it? Because you do something else. It's the perfect life.
Bear in mind, you're not aware that you're in the flotation tank. You've made that deal, but then once you're in there, you're not aware of being in the flotation tank. You're living your life and it's perfect. You're happy. Well, we don't know how you would be happy. You just have munchies every day and...
Well, yeah, you get in it then. Get in it. If you don't know you've got in this tank, if I somehow go to bed at night, someone injects me in the head, and then they go, right, stick him in the tank now, and then I wake up, packet of munchies there, sun's out, Suzanne goes, oh, it's a nice day, we'll go and do something nice. Right. You're meant to be at work. She goes, no, I don't have to go in today.
Right.
Go, all right, let's go out then.
Now, what's interesting there is that within this scenario, I gave you any life, you could do anything, and you chose the exact life you've got now, except Suzanne's got a day off. Now, I both love that.
Well, I was a bit suspicious, though, that she's just taking a day off.
No way, it's not happening now. It's not really happening. You can do anything you like. But I like the fact now you can question it. You're not in the tank, and why has Suzanne got a day off, right? Now, I love that, because that suggests to me that you're a nice, happy, satisfied, whatever you want to do it, contented person who's got the perfect life. However, it's almost like you haven't fully understood the possibilities. For example, you wake up, there's the munchies, sunny day, Suzanne's not at work. You go, why aren't you at work? She goes to you, hold on, though, why are you flying? And you go, I just can. But you hadn't even thought that maybe you could fly or swim or hold your breath.
You just have some munchies for breakfast.
Hang on a minute, this is day one.
Oh, okay.
When you go on holiday,
yeah,
like I said before, you don't turn up and go, right, it's 1 o'clock, jet ski for half an hour, bungee jumping 40 minutes after that, let's have a nice roti, and, try a little cocktail.
And what do you do? What do you do when you arrive there?
When you get there, the fella takes your case to the room.
Right.
You have that panic of, am I going to give him too much money? I don't know the currency well enough yet. I don't know how much
More
things
information
are.
than we asked for.
Yeah.
No. The most mundane scenario I've ever heard.
No, but this is what happens in real life.
Yeah. Right, okay.
So you have that scenario. You go, right, where's my shorts? You get them on. You go out and have a wander. You have a wander round to know where everything is. The
Car
shop.
park you did
the
once.
shop. How close the beach is.
Yeah.
Is it busy?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just telling us what happens when you go on holiday. What's your point?
Okay.
Because you don't want fun all in one go. You want to build to it, because that's sometimes part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
anticipation. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. That little bit.
Yeah.
It's about things taking time, isn't it, and looking back at the journey and going, how did I get here?
Okay, well, can I ask a question? Because, sorry, what I'm fascinated to know is, if you decided to sign up to the float tank idea, okay, you can design your perfect life.
But I prefer not to know I'm doing it.
No, you
won't
don't.
know.
But I
You
want to
won't
ask
know.
this question. Imagine Ricky and I are the doctors, okay? We can put you in this tank. All we need to know from you now is what your perfect life is. So we're going to program it in the computer. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You won't know this conversation's happened. You'll have the perfect life. What, if you don't mind, we're going to take notes now. What is the perfect life? You're still obviously living with Suzanne.
We've got
but
munchies.
what else?
We've got munchies and we've got sunshine.
But what else would you like in your magical life your ultimate life?
I think I prefer...
Hair?
No, because then I'd know it's not real.
No, you would
wouldn't
never
know.
know.
It just came back. Suzanne comes in one day and goes, why aren't you working? She goes, okay, I've left my job. Can we leave why am I at work? I'm always going to be here, right? I've got a new tonic, right, from Boots. She pops it on your hair. Boop, baby gorilla.
Yeah, I don't like this idea of suddenly Suzanne's never at work. I just think you need a bit of the badness to have the goodness.
Right.
In a minute, you're going to be injected in the head, you're going to go to sleep, you're going to be in a floating state, but you are going to suddenly leave this office and it's going to be a virtual world. You can do what you want. You can suddenly go, what was I hanging around with that bloke off the office for? I'm a spy. You go to MI5 and they go, thanks for coming in, Pilkington. Listen, Drosky, he's coming from Russia and he's got the... Bang! What do you do? What's your scenario? What do you do as a job? We've got munches, Suzanne's never worked...
I prefer to leave everything as it is.
Brilliant.
Go in it, but have everything the same so that I'm going, hang on a minute, has it actually happened?
What are you talking about?
No, you don't know about this. You don't know anything that's happened.
No, because you've just said you're gonna put me in the tank and you're asking questions as to what I want when I get in it.
But you won't know you're in the tank.
Once you're in the tank, you won't know. You'll have a new life, a life that you've designed.
Yes.
You have different memories if you wanted. You could be 5 again, or you could be now, but you weren't born in Manchester.
I prefer it to be the same, with the same memories, but the difference is, when I next get British Gas round, you go, oh, Mr. Pilkington, yes, the boiler is fixed.
So your boiler still goes wrong in your dream, but it gets fixed.
But you don't even need a boiler. You can be the perfect temperature all the time.
Anymore. I don't like the idea of too much change. I don't want that much of a change.
But you won't realise, it won't feel like change.
Well, it's changed already. You're saying the boiler's been fixed like that. I prefer to still have that problem and go, hang on a minute, is this different? Suzanne's still going to work.
Right. That's very important.
But then,
you don't want her around all day.
But then, things happen that wouldn't have happened in this world.
Okay, let's write that. Well, let's see the differences. What do you do? Because I've got to program this. So you've got the same job, all that. Are we still around?
Yeah, because it's part of...
I'm going to ask you a question now. Do I still squeeze your head every time I see you, rest you to the ground and wind you up, try and stress you out, call you all hours? Do I still do all that? What am I like?
You're still the same and you still do that, but maybe one day I go, don't do that anymore because it does annoy me. And you go, OK. And then I've dealt with it. I've sorted that problem as opposed to this machine, this tank deciding.
Right.
I don't like the idea of this tank making life good for me.
Right.
I want a few problems, and if there's a problem, I want to sort it.
OK.
But...
Well, you've hit the nail on the head there. We're going to go back to this because it's fascinating. But Nozip concluded that no one would get into the tank because we'd rather have a real life with all its problems than a fake life. And I sort of think you've proved that by even getting into the tank with your provisos and scenarios. I mean, you've changed nothing except your boiler being fixed and me stop squeezing your head now and again, which makes me think that you should have your boiler fixed. And then you will have the perfect life that you can imagine.
Yeah, but it's that old chestnut, isn't it? It's the thing of, like, what's my problem then? You've got a problem gene in your head. You've got to fill it with a problem.
Yeah, he's not a geneticist.
Got the problem hole in your head.
No, it's
got
not.
a problem hole in your head. Shut up, Ricky. Let him say what he needs to say. He's got a problem hole in his head.
He's got a problem hole in his head. It's called his mouth.
Yes.
Right, that is your problem hole.
So, if someone comes up and they go, I've fixed your boiler.
Sorry, could I just ask
let him speak.
Let me ask one question, Steve. Is the problem hole different from the problem gene, or is that a new term for...
No, you put things through the problem hole and they end up in the problem gene. You feed something in the problem hole...
Is that right, Carl?
It goes through the problem tube into the problem gene.
OK, so it's down the problem conduit. OK, go on, right. So it's better to have... You've got a problem hole in your head, right?
Yeah. So you stuff in a problem into the problem hole.
OK, yeah, OK.
Now, all the little problems can't get in because of the big problem.
Right. Is that good or bad?
But that's not true, is
The
it?
problem hole is a standard size on everyone.
Right, no, but that's...
Shut up, Ricky, let him explain.
Now, Ricky, I'd say his problems are not even problems.
Well, how big's his problem hole?
Same size as mine.
Same size as yours.
But his problems are all little ones. They're like, you've got like a load of Skittles, I've got a big cream egg.
Right, but why...
Shut up! Let him speak. He's just expanding on his idea.
But what is his problem? What is your problem that's so big compared to my little Skittles?
Loads of problems. You get stressed out about things that I'm like, what's up with you? You get annoyed easily with stuff. People chewing loudly, or someone breathing loudly, or someone coughing. Whereas I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like you say, to you, the boiler is like, get it ripped out, put a new one in. It's not as easy as that.
It is.
And that's why the problem ball is growing.
He's got a gene, a ball and a hole.
So the problem ball...
No wonder there's no fucking room for a brain.
Right, shut up. Let me ask... I want to clarify this. The problem ball exists in life. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It has to go through the problem hole, down the problem tube, into the problem
bouncing
gene.
through the problem gene.
Right, now then. So you've got the problem ball. Everyone's problem hole is the same size.
Okay.
But some people's problems are smaller, so they can slip straight into the problem hole.
I've got a question, Stephen.
Wait.
And listen, has anyone got a pair of problem balls? Or is it always just...
Because ladies have a pair of problem balls?
No, because Hitler had one problem ball, didn't he? But could anyone ever have a pair of problem balls, is my question to you.
And some people's problem balls are much bigger than other men's. Or another one's, right?
Yeah,
Right.
depending on the problem.
So you could have a pair of problem balls and one problem hole.
The way I'm saying...
So supposing I came to you and said, listen...
but a man starving in a foreign country might have huge problem balls.
He might have, but if I went to a doctor and said, I've got a problem hole, and the doctor said, well, let me see it, and he said, well, let me see your problem hole, and hanging down in front of my problem hole was a huge pair of problem balls, what would he treat first, is my question.
Well, would he look into the problem hole?
He'd say, right, take your problem genes off. Right? I want to see your problem hole clearly.
But he would put his hand or his finger into the problem hole to try and remove the problem balls, wouldn't he?
He could feel the problem balls, but he'd have to insert his finger in the problem hole, wouldn't he?
Right.
Okay, so Carl, go on then.
I'll just get in the tank.
Okay, so in a roundabout way, back to cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am. Descartes, pondering, how do I know this isn't a dream? Well, he concluded he doesn't. When he took it further to how do I know I even exist, he quite rightly concluded that, well, if I'm even pondering this question, I must exist. Whatever I am, wherever I am, the fact that I'm questioning, introspecting, thinking at all, I think, therefore I am. Because I'm even thinking, at least I know one thing, that I exist. That's all he said, Carl.
I don't understand why he had so much time on his hands to be worrying about this. At the end of the day, get on with it.
You're not doing shit all, Carl. So why are you so annoyed at other people who aren't doing anything? You're going out in the morning, you're staring at worms, at bugs, you're staring at the sky,
You're
wondering
writing
what hasn't fallen
books
on your
that
head.
you're making up the books. That isn't researched.
What do you mean making it?
What is it that you're doing?
One of the chapters in your book about travel was Australia. I've never been there myself. Forget it then. Throw it away.
No, because you can still have
You
thoughts
make up
on it.
stuff about a grub eating a biscuit. We're all the same. Well, I mean, what is that? That's not. But I laughed.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that book.
Listen, everyone like me...
That book is absolutely pointless.
It is in my lavatory. Every time I pop in there for a shit,
Yeah.
just take it off the shelf, have a little read.
Yeah,
Great fun.
And I'm down to about 4 pages because sometimes I forget to get bog rolled. But listen, that is a fun book to wipe your ass
It's
with.
a great book to
It
wipe
was
your ass
me,
with.
but that book was good for me. I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone enjoyed it, but I was emptying my worry hole. And at the end of the day,
Emptying
Hold
your
on.
worry hole.
Is that different to the problem, are you worry
it's
hole?
next to it.
Once a problem ball is being processed through the hole, is it deposited through the worry hole?
All I'm saying is, you're right, I do watch a lot of insects and stuff, and you never see them wasting time. They're always doing something. An ant's carrying something somewhere. Sometimes I watch it and it goes somewhere and comes back again. You think, does it know what it's doing? But at least it's trying. Now, if there was a
What
big
is it doing though? What is that ant doing?
work, it's building a house,
But
or
what's the point? Everything it does is pointless.
how can you say that?
It's pointless.
I'll
It's
tell
just...
you what, if there was a bigger sort of being looking over the world and they went, right, let's look at the human race, and, well, they look at the ants first and they go, right, they've got their hands full, they're carrying big stuff, they try to save time by carrying stuff that's way too big for them, really. They could do that between 3 of them, but they don't. They're all grafting hard. Then they go, right, hit the human button. They hit the human button, they watch the humans. The amount of people who are just sat about doing now. They're reading about Amy Winehouse, Lily Allen in London at 2 a.m. So what? What are we doing?
I agree with you, but what are you doing?
You see, the ant analogy, joking aside, I think there you hit on the fact that life is about working for what you get. And I'm right behind that. I am right behind that. I think that's... I think that's absolutely true.
That's what I meant. What's dangerous is
A boiling kettle to an end.
At the end of the day, right? Yeah, but that's evil, isn't it?
What?
You know, I mean, you sometimes make out as if I'm an evil man. We had an ant problem in the garden. Suzanne said, we've got to get rid of these. And I said, well, it's a bit out of order. They are outside. She said, yeah, but there's getting a lot of them. She went and popped the kettle on. I said, I can't handle this.